Alright, let's get right into it. Saturday stream. Special Saturday stream featuring Fata Morgana. Dude, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I meant to be live like even like 4 hours ago, but I've had like this dull headache that's just like making me feel groggy and sapping my energy. And I thought it'd go away after a couple hours, and it's still here. So I'm just gonna power through it. We'll see how it goes. If I have to pull an emergency release valve and end stream or something, if it gets worse, then I will. But I'm hoping give it a couple hours of reading and I'll be good. But yeah, we're gonna start with Fata Morgana. So that's 2 Fata Morgana streams, or technically 3 in a row. Well, basically, might as well count it's technical. So much so that I don't think, since we just read Fata Morgana last night, I don't think we need to do like a real recap. Basically, we're continuing to get, I mean, the quickest summary, right, of the last stream, of last night's Fata Morgana reading. Because the recaps, not only for the viewers, for me as well, but I don't really need that, I don't think, today. But we're basically continuing our journey to try to get the keys to save Morgana, or trying to get the second key from the assassin man, swordsman guy who has no name. And we're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? And we basically go through the nun. We get grabbed by Maria, who's from the third door. If you remember Maria, the person you love to hate. In this era, in this story thing, she's what do you want to call her? A prostitute. She's a lady of the night. She was trying to apparently get into contact with the Lord. She later on says that she was going to try to kill the Lord or something. Who knows if that's 100% accurate or not. But that's at least what she tells us, Mikkel. That was late at night, so we chat with her character, and Mikkel's like, this is great. Now we have a connection to the Lord and the Yukimasa assassin man that we need to get the second and third key, or I guess third key and second key respectively. So we're continuing to work on the assassin man. He's around, trying to remember. Oh, yeah, we get, like, knocked out and then dragged into, like, the cellar. And just so luckily, while we're being, like, tortured by, like, breaking our fingers or something and getting stabbed, the nun, Pauline, and Mel come rushing to our aid. And just like the first thing where Nelly catches Mel saying his stuff, they essentially catch the swordsman saying his stuff and doing his bad deeds red-handed. He like we caught Swiper the Swipe Fox, or whatever that character's name is, red-handed, and he has to just give up the ghost. And he's like, all right, well, this fucking sucks. And he's like, oh shit, well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. And yeah, it's all true. And damn. And so at that point, then the nun's like, I can't believe I didn't believe you, Mikkel. Everyone was telling me that this was happening, and now we got this thing. And we ran into like a bad ending at some point. There was that. So we then had to replay a certain stretch of the game. Maria gave us a knife towards that bad ending, and then because we had a knife, that set us up for failure for whatever reason. Maria said that she was going to give us something late the next day's night, so I don't know what the fuck that is, but that's clearly setting some seed for, I assume, how we're going to go about getting the third key in the next day after this Yukimasa thing rolls. I keep saying Yukimasa because that was his name in the door, right? I don't know if that's the same name he has or has, whatever, but I think everyone understands what I'm saying when I say that. Another important thing is that our link to well, I can't remember her name. Giselle is like weakening or gone or something. She's just been like out of the picture for whatever reason for a bit of time. Don't exactly know what that's going to be or how that's going to manifest into something bigger. It probably will. Who knows if she comes back? Who knows if she's just gone permanently? Who fucking knows? It seems as if there were little glimpses of her knowing that something bad was coming or happening, and she wasn't fully giving us the information, or she was lying to us, that she was just tired or something. We learned that Pauline wasn't always like this holier, nun-like person, but she ended up turning to this thing, but that's not necessarily what she wants. And so when we told her, like, oh, in another life, you'll have your seaside city living experience and everything you wanted. Oh, isn't that going to be great? And then, just like Mel, we started getting a guy with no name, swordsman, assassin, Yukimasa guy, was telling us his side of the story about how he wronged, and the lead up to his experience with Morgana. And that's where we're at. We're in the middle of that story. I unfortunately awkwardly had to cut that last night because I was being metaphorically dragged away. So yeah, slight headache I've got going on. If I seem low energy, that's why. I apologize, but we'll get through it. Like I said, at the very least, we'll try to read for like a couple hours today. If I feel the same or better over those 2 hours, then maybe we'll read a little more, or maybe we will switch to Metal Gear. But it's all contingent on how these how my head feels after these next 2 hours. It's very unfortunate. Like I said, I was meant to be live like earlier, and then I just kind of I was like, oh, surely if I drink some water, I took a nap. Very uncharacteristic for me. I was like, if I take like a 2-hour nap, I'll be fine. And then I was like, woke up and felt even kind of worse. I was like, shit. Fuck. It's fine though. We'll just read. There's got to be a bump on a log and read. Here we go. I recovered quickly with a proper bed and a roof over my head. Remember, we're in the middle of the Yukimasa recounting the story thing, leading up to his chopping of the arm off of Morgana and kidnapping her. Can't wait to see that again. Out on the road, I'd been certain I stood no chance, but I was back on my feet after only 3 days at the church. My body was more resilient than even I knew, and now that I was back in health, I had no intention of sticking around. Thank you for everything. I would be dead if it weren't for you. No thanks necessary. I'm just glad to see you're feeling better. There's no need to be in such a rush to leave, Stay a bit longer. Make sure everything's all right. I'm not going to stay any longer than necessary. If you're sure, take this as payment for the food and lodgings. I can't accept that, no. We don't charge for charity. Charity is not free. You paid for it. Let me pay you back. I can't. Please, take the money. Take it. If you insist, I can accept it as a tithe. A tithe? Am I saying that? Tithe? It's tithe. Tithing's alright. Tithe? Tithe? I'm clearly not a man of the church. Think of it like a donation to the church. Like you said, the work we do isn't free. Alright then. Tithe it is. Thank you. And may God bless you for your generosity. So long. Hey, if you're ever in the area, maybe you could stop by sometime? I never did get the chance to have that talk with you, and I was really looking forward to it too. I'll just cause you more trouble. What? No, you wouldn't. What makes you think that? Are you afraid you'll scare people off because you look different? I really don't think you need to be worried about that. It's not just my appearance. Do you mean it? That it won't be any trouble having me around? I absolutely mean it. Okay. I'll consider it. Wonderful! I can't wait to see you again. God, this game loves its, brooding, closed-off, cold dudes, and then the more energetic, bright ray of sunshine women that warms the hearts of them. So many examples, so many examples in this game. Wonderful, can't wait to see you again. Yeah. It's all the women in this game that make the guys, actually, social and personable and not just a lump of coldness. Believe me, I knew I had no place involving myself with her. A killer making himself comfortable in the house of God. I don't even believe in their deity, and I still knew that there was nothing if not extremely disrespectful. The money I had donated to her church wasn't even clean. It was stolen. I didn't feel the slightest bit guilty about it, though. I was more than conscious of what I was doing, but none of that mattered to me. She had smiled when she took it. That was enough. Seeing the nun smile put my heart at ease, much like the sound of the slave girl's voice had several years before. It restrained me, suppressed my urges. That smiling face was my new tether. I'd always believed that I was at my happiest while torturing people. Oof. And my thirst for murder was ingrained in my soul. But as exhilarating as taking others' lives was, there was a part of me that yearned for peace. I'd gotten a taste of that with her, and I wanted more. Even knowing I had no place in that world, that peace was something I would never attain. Still, I longed for it. It started with brief visits every few months. In time, though, their frequency began to increase. Soon it was once a month, then twice, then once a week. The length of my visits gradually grew as well. Every time I showed up, the nun greeted me with a smile, quenching my thirst without the need for blood. The more we met, the more I endeavored to be a normal man around her, or to play the part of one. I thought that if I acted like there was nothing wrong with me, then I wouldn't be out of place at her side. I wanted to feel like I belonged in that peaceful world where she lived. Ah, it's the giant man! Marie, the giant man's here! Giant? Ah, hello there. I was beginning to think you weren't coming this week. I was having trouble deciding on what to bring you. You're always welcome here, you know. You don't have to bribe yourself in. But I appreciate it, thank you. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't bring something. I bought a variety of fruits for you today, so you can share them with the children. They'll be delighted. Thank you so much. It's nothing, really. So have you decided on a name for yourself yet? Not yet, no. Nothing at all? Makes talking to you a little awkward, not having anything to call you. In that case, the giant man is as good as anything. Did he get under your skin? A little. That fucking kid. I'm not that big, am I? We're all giants to little kids. I do wish they'd be a little less blunt about it sometimes, though. Indeed. Suppose it's better than them being afraid of me. The children here have strong nerves. They're ordinary kids. You're just not a scary person. They only assume I'm harmless because I'm with you. What? You make it sound like you actually are dangerous or something. Oh, if only you knew. If only you knew, Pauline. Because I am. Don't get worked up about it. The only thing different about us is our race. Everything else is exactly the same. I'm not so sure. You must have had some pretty awful experiences because of your appearance then, to make you so concerned about it. I wish I could say I understood your pain. It's not necessary. But if I could, then maybe I'd feel a little closer to you. If only I could be even half the same race as you. You have nothing to gain from being more like me. You don't think so? I think there's a lot that would be nice about it. I'd probably have really pretty black hair at least. If I'm ever reborn, I'd like to be more like you. Why are you so obsessed with being like me? I just am? Oh. Yeah. Alright, great conversation. That was about the time I started noticing the feelings she had for me. At first, I thought I was simply being egotistical. There was no way a woman like her would be interested in a man like me. But I couldn't think of any other explanation for the way she looked at me. Back then, I believed I loved her too, and that if we could be together, as man and woman, that I would finally be able to attain the peace I so sought. That I could wash my hands of the killer within me, defeat the urges once and for all. That I could step out of the darkness I had lived in for so long. That I would be able to see the light. That I'd be able to experience love like any other ordinary man. So in the name of that hope, I took action. That foolish, naive hope. What are we doing out here? So late at night? Sorry for asking to meet me on such short notice. Hope it wasn't too much trouble sneaking out. It certainly wasn't easy. So you had something to tell me? what I'm about to tell you, every last word is sincere. And then once you've heard me out, I want you to turn me down. This guy. What? Over these past few months, I've come to at least somewhat understand the responsibilities and restrictions placed on you as a nun. But even ignoring the obligations you have, I know good and well I'm not a suitable match for you. Which is why, as I said, I would like you to turn me down. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it works. I still want to hear it. I love you. I fell for you the moment I first saw you. I know I don't deserve to be anywhere near you, but every time we met, my desire to be with you grew stronger and stronger until it was out of my control. Turn me down, Marie, please, and I will stop trying to get close to you. I'm not Marie. You're not? What? My real name is Pauline. Pauline? Marie is my baptismal name. It's not the name I was given at birth. He's like, okay. I love you too. I fell for you the moment I first laid eyes on you. I assume the whole reason the game is making, like, has made such a big deal about, like, oh, Marie is what she took the name as, like, when she started becoming, she took the nun path or whatever, and Pauline's her old name or whatever. I would assume it's purposely doing that so that when it sets up, like, this part where she's like, I know I'm a nun and I'm not allowed to pursue a relationship with this person that I have feelings for, kind of thing, that she can be like, oh, well, I'm separating myself into two people. The urges that I feel of wanting to be close to this person, that's the Pauline in me, and it's totally fine that that's separate from me, the life I'm taking as a nun under the name Marie, kind of thing. Like, I assume that's why this game is making such a big deal about that. It's like setting up for her not explaining away, but like feeling comfortable where she's like, oh, that's Pauline doing, you know, succumbing to those urges is how I'd put it. I know it's forbidden, but I want to be with you too. Any free time I have, I want to spend it with you. Also to parallel the maid. Sure. Probably a better point. Yeah. Good point. Any free time I have, I want to spend it with you. I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you for being honest with me. No, thank you for not turning me down. Wow, talk about an anxious day. When you asked me to meet you out here tonight, I wonder if that might be what it was about. Felt like my heart was going to explode all day. Heart explode? Guys get nervous about telling girls how they feel too, don't they? Oh, do we? Yeah, we do. Until now, I had no idea falling in love was so hard on the nerves. Just thinking about you makes my mind turn to mush. It's hard to work like that, you know? Is it really that stressful? Is it like that for you too? Yeah. Thinking about you makes it impossible to concentrate. Tell me something, Pauline. What is it? How exactly is it hard on your nerves? What? How exactly? It's like, I'm in the clouds and I want to scream and I want to jump into a lake all the same time. All at the same time. That doesn't help me much. Could you be a little more specific? Really? Are you trying to embarrass me? It's like my whole body gets really hot. Damn. Damn. You mean you get aroused? Aroused? No, to put it bluntly, yes. I see. You're a real jerk, you know? You shouldn't go around trying to humiliate ladies. You know what? Some woman tells me that, like, just thinking of me gets her aroused or whatever. I'll go and chop off the arm of a witch and go kidnap her to save whatever the situation is. I've done crazier things for love. You know what? Immediately absolve him of his sins. It's fine. It's fine. He did this for love. He cared so much about Pauline. He's like, I will go back to my murderous ways and I'll go kidnap the witch. Who amongst us hasn't? You know what I'm saying? Who amongst us hasn't? Sorry, I didn't mean to. Oh, you. Well, that was insightful. So I'm not in love with her, or romantically attracted to her, or even physically attracted to her. All I want from her is her smile. Being around her doesn't arouse me. Oh, yeah, that was the whole point yesterday, where he talked about, like, Now, it's interesting, because it's like, okay, does he truly... Now, it could be that he truly is not, like, as strongly reciprocating her feelings to... Or his feelings to her, right? There is that possibility. But there's also... He talks about himself as, like, almost non-human-like, right? Like, that's his whole deal. Maybe he just doesn't know how to, like, parse his feelings. But it could be true that, like, he got out of her, like, that she's really into him. But he doesn't feel that exact... And that's why he wanted that explanation. Because he's like, well, I don't really feel like that towards you. But he doesn't want to say that clearly. Tough. Whatever. Alright, being around her doesn't arouse me. In fact, it does exactly the opposite. My fire burns brightest when I'm not with her. All makes sense now. I just want someone to keep me placated. I'm disturbed through and through. A murderer and a beast. See? That's why I didn't want to say anything. I knew you would laugh at me. I'm sorry. I truly am. I did ultimately get what I wanted out of the arrangement. She became my tether. Became an invaluable part of my life, even if I had no real love for her. When I was with her, I was at peace. That said, her presence didn't completely rid me of my urges. I was still occasionally struck with bouts of insatiable thirst. Overwhelming desire to mutilate anyone who came into my line of sight. And sometimes, Pauline became the object of that desire. It goes without saying that I never did draw my sword on her, but I had no way of knowing when I might lose control, and if I ever did kill her, then there would be nothing left to keep me from regressing completely into a beast. Pauline and I arranged regular nighttime meetings, though never once did I tell her how I truly felt. And I had no intention to either. When I was with her, I was in the role of her lover. She never questioned my love for her, and expressing hers for me caused her to smile even more than normal. The happier she was, the more beneficial it was to me. Spending time with her in this capacity, I was able to gain a deeper understanding of what kind of person Pauline was. She was a deeply generous and compassionate woman. While I now understand her near-compulsive deeds of charity were a result of the stress and uncertainty she felt about herself, at the time I believe she was doing it because she genuinely wanted to. I believe she wanted to save absolutely everyone, to be the saintess she had come to be known as. She gave assistance to anyone who sought it from her, without question. And as a result, the church's coffers quickly dried up. Her God did not supply her with an endless store of bread and wine either. In the end, any endeavor, no matter the intentions, requires money. In time, her generosity turned excessive, self-destructive. She would even skip meals so that others could eat. In retrospect, that was probably my fault too. As I pushed her toward wanting to be a regular girl, she pushed back against that desire by being even more charitable. Soon, her actions started making the other nuns' lives difficult, giving her a less than favorable reputation within the church. Still, she would tell me when we met up how she wished she could help even more people. If doing so would give her peace, and if I could be a part of that peace, then I wanted to grant her wish. But what could a killer like me do to help? Petty thievery wouldn't make me nearly enough money to keep a church and orphanage running, and a raid large enough in scale to do so would inevitably be traced back to the source, which would ruin the church forever. How was a murderer to acquire such a large sum of money? I was ready to jump at any opportunity that presented itself, when I received a summons from the Lord. Oh shit, our first look at the sprite for the Lord, man? Take a gander. I take it you're the Oriental man who's been seen buzzing around a local church of late? When I first saw the Lord, I was surprised at just how young he looked. There couldn't have been more than a couple years difference between us. It's kind of weird too, because I was like, oh wow, yeah, he looks kind of young, but like I shouldn't have been surprised because we saw what he would be like somewhat based around in the third door, so. But he looks so smug. He's so smug, man. There couldn't have been more than a couple years difference between us. I'd envision him as an elderly, or at the very least, a middle-aged man. That would be me, yes. What of it? Who do you think you're talking to, you impudent rat? Show some damned respect. Apologies. Not very familiar with the local customs or language. Very well then. You're fortunate I'm such an understanding man. Now, for the reason I called you here. You're the one who killed that cart full of slaves 4 years ago, aren't you? So you know about that? I wasn't actually sure it was you, but now I have confirmation. Since then, one slave of Far Eastern origin has remained unaccounted for. Take it that would be you. That's right. You made one hell of a mess out there. Am I here to be punished? That depends on how our talk goes. If you think I'm going back to being a slave, you're fooling yourself. I don't need any more damn slaves, and I certainly don't want you as one. You're obviously not finding any respectable work, being an ex-slave, so I take it if you're still in the business of getting your hands dirty, are you not? I assume you're playing cat burglar or something, living off whatever you can swipe from the nearest unlucky bastard. Correct. Isn't it comical, then, that you would choose God's sacred house to stretch your legs in, you filthy dog? I absolutely agree. I thought that would get a reaction out of you, but it seems you got no bite in you today. Never mind. Let's get down to business. You're going to help me out with a little something I'm working on. Help you with what, exactly? Something that's going to make me a lot of money. And if you lend a hand, I'll make sure you're well taken care of. Along with the church you're so fond of, and the nun you've taken a liking to. That nun of yours has made quite the name for herself. Out in the city proper, people have started calling her the Saintess. They're right about that. She is. The commoners love their heroes and saints. They eat that rubbish right up. But saint or not, you can't simply create food from nothing. Her work is causing financial troubles for the church, is it not? It is, yes. If you help me with this, I'm offering you an entirely new church, one where she has complete control to do as she wishes. She'll make it into the biggest church in the city. She'll be able to help even more people, which should surely please her. What would you have me do? Jumping at the first whiff of scraps. You really are a dog, aren't you? I don't like conversations that overstay their welcome. Fair enough. Then let's get to business. Not far from here lives a witch whose blood has the power to cause miracles. Miracle blood? Sounds like a sham to me. You never know. They say the sound of her first cry brought rain to the land where she was born, saving the whole village from drought. And they say her blood has the power to cure any disease. I'll worry about the veracity of the rumors later. Right now, all I want is for you to capture her and bring her to me. Explain something to me, Lord. You said that if I helped you, the nun would be able to save more people than she does now. So how does capturing this witch accomplish that? I'm glad you know how to listen, dog. We'll be turning the blood into a miracle elixir, which she will then distribute to patrons of the church. In exchange for tithes, of course. Selling it, then. Selling isn't quite the right word, but if that's how you want to think of it, by all means. The commoner's beloved saintess, handing out an all-powerful miracle medicine. They'll lap it up. And in turn, you'll make a fortune. Exactly. Money I can use to support her church. It'll be a boon to the city's economy as well. A single witch's freedom is all it'll cost for everyone here to come out happy. So what'll it be? Will you help? Or will I have to? I'll help. I've no reason not to. Decisive and a good listener. Excellent. Once I've captured the witch, where do I take her? I have a mansion set aside where your nun can run her church. There's an observation tower on the grounds. The witch will be kept locked up there to ensure we have a constant supply of blood. Okay. When do you want me to get her? You're just chomping at the bit now, aren't you? Ma, his sprite says. I thought you'd hesitate at least a little, but I guess it was foolish of me to presume you understand how a killer's mind works. All the resources I put into investigating you and everyone else close to you were wasted, it would seem. Do you even have a conscience? Don't act like you're any different. I assure you I have a conscience. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't necessary for the growth of the city. No, I mean you're as much a murderer as me. You would never come up with a scheme like this if your hands were clean. Watch your mouth, dog. Don't you dare insinuate I would ever condescend to your level. Goodbye. I agreed to the Lord's terms. A couple days later, I made my way out to the location the Lord had given me, a small cottage by a lake where the witch was said to live. I had been instructed to take her alive, but not that I wasn't allowed to harm her, so my plan was to force my way in and immobilize her as soon as she opened the door. The Lord was right. I didn't have anything resembling a conscience. I was too far gone to be bothered by the prospect of disabling a witch. Not even the fact that I had found a degree of solace in my relationship with Pauline would change that. However, who's there? When I heard the witch's voice through the door, I froze. It was a girl from 4 years earlier. I didn't even have to see her. I knew right away. I wouldn't mistake that voice, that stream of pure, clear water cutting through the grime, for anything. I would never forget the first thing that had ever managed to suppress my desires. My first tether. When the Lord told me about the witch, I never once expected it to be her. Who is it? Are you the witch with the miracle blood? My hand rested on the hilt of my sword. I had at first meant to break down the door if she wouldn't open it for me. Please leave. However, when I heard that voice, my hand fell limp. Please stay away from my home. I'm in need of your blood. Could you not spare a little? I have nothing to spare for a man like you. My blood is only for the sick and needy, so please go away. Damn. Stay away from me. I'm begging you. Get away from this place. You're a murderer. I want nothing to do with you, so please just go away. As you say. As she had commanded, I took my leave of her cottage, in somewhat of a haze. It should have come as no surprise, but in the 4 years since our last encounter, she had no kind words left to spare me. Yet even in her derision, I still felt myself being calmed by the sound of her voice. I debated with myself. Should I do as the Lord requested and capture her, or should I let her go free, as I had done 4 years earlier? You already know what I decided to do, though, don't you? That's right, I went with the first option. After all, I had no need for 2 tethers. Dang. While breaking down her door was still an option, the witch was wary of me. If she were to somehow manage to escape, there was no saying how the Lord might react. So I stood watch, waiting for her to step outside. The problem was, she never opened the door, her door. It wasn't just me, it seemed she was wary of everyone. There was one exception, though, the boy. She left the cottage for him. They went on walks together around the lake. Dots. It's been a while since we last went on one of our walks, huh? I haven't been sleeping much, taking care of Nellie. Is her condition worsening again? Yeah. Rest assured, I'll give her my blessing as many times as she needs. Thanks. I really appreciate it. The weather's kind of not that great today, huh? Just making small talk with the witch. It looks like we might get rain. It's probably not smart to stay outside much longer. Yesterday. I should get going. See you. Watching the two of them, it occurred to me that I could make good use of the boy. You have 2 options. Either you say no and protect the witch. Get away! Or you help me capture her. Get away from her, right now! And if you choose the witch, I kill the girl. Get away! Make your decision. Get away from her! You have until the count of 10. If you don't choose, I kill the girl. 10, 9, 8, 7. 6, 5. Okay, I'll do it. I'll help you. So get your sword out of her face. Don't kill her. Thought you'd hold out until the last second. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's get going. Get moving. You pitiful little boy. Oh, we have to see the scene of him attacking the Morgana again. God. Oh, God. It's happening. She screams. She screams some more. I have a limit to the sound effects I make. Get back! No! Stay away from me! No! No! Help! Don't kill me! Chopping, chop, chop, chop. God, more screams, more flashes. Take it. What? That's your share. Should last you long enough. Why? That's brutal. Why did you take my arm? Do you mean by share? Traumatized Mel. Why? I wish the game like did the sound effects for people like screaming and stuff. I just wouldn't have to choose doing them or not. My arm. My arm. Yeah, now we're gonna see, I guess now we get to see more of the timeline of her being just taken to, I guess, the watchtower. No, put me down, please. Help, someone please help. The witch with the miracle blood had regressed into an ordinary girl, and she cried in pain like a small child. I wasn't going to get very far with her wailing, so I gagged her, tied her up, and threw her into a burlap sack. Nothing personal, just need your blood. Without it, she'll lose her church. She needs the money. I'm trying. I needed some way of getting enough money to keep her church running. So the Lord made me an offer. If I brought him the witch with the miracle blood, he would finance a whole new church for her. So don't take it personally. Oh yeah, I'm not taking it personally, man. I tossed the sack into the cart I had waiting outside, then made my way to the mansion as per the Lord's instructions. The two of us then locked the witch in the observation tower. When I told the Lord I had used a boy as bait to get her to open the door, he gave an exasperated sigh and said, "Involving a third party was not part of the plan. Is there anything at all in that head of yours, dog? I can kill him if that's a problem. Don't be hasty. Describe him for me. Did he seem like he came from a wealthy family? He's young, still in his teens. He lives with his little sister. He looked reasonably well off, probably of noble blood. You picked one hell of a target to use as your bait. Should I kill him? There are people in this world you can make disappear quietly. People no one will notice have gone missing. You're one of them. The boy, he most likely isn't. Was the boy at all interested in the witch's blood? He seemed to be. Well, it makes things a little easier. We just have to make him into an accomplice then. That's everything up to about 6 months ago. You know what happened next, I presume. I threatened Mel, forced him to join us. He needed the blood for his sister, but even without that excuse, he didn't have the courage to run. Me, on the other hand, I involved myself in my own free will. With my own will. I had no reason to try to get back out. In fact, being put in charge of one of the 3 keys gave me an excuse to meet up with her more often. The arrangement was quite beneficial for me. Hey, I heard the news. You were selected to be part of the Lord's personal guard? Now you've got it made. Congratulations. You exaggerate. It's nothing. Oh, now, no need to be humble. He wouldn't have picked you if he didn't really trust you. Everyone around here knows just how hard it is to earn the Lord's trust. If you say so. It hasn't been easy for him, I hear. He only assigns those he really trusts to work so close to him. I hope you're right. He trusts you, I'm sure of it. I certainly can't tell her the real reason I suddenly became his guard. And I've got some more exciting news too. The Lord sent a messenger for me earlier. Apparently, he's building a new church and he wants me to serve as a nun there. Can you believe it? You shouldn't be surprised. You are the city saintess, after all. It's little wonder you would be his first choice. I really don't think I'm that important. Do you not want the position? No, I'm delighted to have such an incredible opportunity. This will allow me to help so many more people than before. It's wonderful news. That's good to hear. Tell me, I'm not wrong in thinking helping people is the one thing you want more than anything else, am I? Right. That's what I want more than anything in the world. That's very convincing of you, Pauline. I see. Hey, smile for me, would you? Huh? I've been smiling this whole time, haven't I? Not just now. Forever. Of course, when I'm with you, nothing could possibly take the smile off my face. Glad to hear it. If I know one thing, it's that women love to be told to smile more. They love it. I never knew someone could lose so much weight while still eating every day. You might have to increase your portions. If there's anything in particular you want, just tell me. I hear children's voices. From outside, I hear children's voices. Ah, the kid's here to see the saintess. It has gotten quite noisy out there of late, yes. Oh, the saintess. Your voice has gotten raspy too. Was that my doing? Did I take your voice? That's unfortunate. To me, your voice held far more value than your blood. And I took that away from you. Yes, you three took everything from me. So we did. Enough chatter, dog. Damn. The Lord's scheme was a success. The witch's blood brought with it an influx of donations, which the Lord invested in various businesses in the city. I have no idea if the blood actually has miraculous powers, but there were certainly people claiming to have been healed by it. It wasn't long before people who weren't sick started making use of the supposed cure-all medication, saying it had preventative properties as well. As word of the elixir spread, the Lord's profits grew in kind. One fact was undeniable. The witch's blood stimulated the city's dramatic growth. Yuck. Story time over. And that's everything. Appalling, is it not? Morgana. If you hate me for what I did to her, you can take this sword and kill me with it. And you can have my key. I won't put up a fight. You have the right to exact punishment on me. Killing you would accomplish nothing. It is neither my place to forgive nor punish you. As much as it would make me feel better, doing so would serve no meaningful purpose. I would like you to give me a little time, though. I need time to cool down enough that I can talk to you with a clear head. Damn. Your story enraged me so much, I must need some time to cool off before I talk to you rationally. Of course. So you are still willing to speak with me? I gave you my word. I told you I would help figure out what path you should take. You're an honorable man. I will not force your hand if you don't want to do this. You can tell me to leave, and I'll walk right out the door. More than anger or hatred, I'm simply deeply pained. Maybe things would have turned out better if I were as sympathetic a man as you. People are supposed to be able to feel happy or sad for each other. I can't, though, which must make me a beast. When you first met Morgana, you felt a desire to rescue her from the slave traders, did you not? You thought of someone other than yourself. I never saw that desire through, though. My thirst far overpowered anything I may have wanted to do for her. And the next time we met, I sold her to the Lord. As I said before, there's no room for interpretation in the things I've done. Whatever I might have wanted to do at one point, it's all meaningless now. Regardless, anything I do for someone else is ultimately for my own benefit, because it's what I need. No matter how selfish your motivations may ultimately be, please let me believe some part of you does genuinely want to help her. Alright, I know I'll sound like a hypocrite for saying this, but sitting back and waiting for her to die is not what I want. When I cut off her arm, I didn't feel any of the thrill or euphoria that I usually do when I take my sword to someone. Can't say whether that means I had a conscience, but for a moment, or I just wasn't myself at the time. If but for a moment. If you can save her, though, please do. I can't do anything. If I try, I'll only make things worse. I cannot do everything on my own, either. Give me your word that you will atone to Morgana for your actions. While I doubt making reparations will clear me of my crimes, if that is what you want me to do, that is what I will do. Can I ask you something? What is it? Tell me more about my next life. Oh, you don't want to hear about your next life, man. That's what we're trying to fix, okay? I'll tell you more about your next life once we potentially fix everything, alright? I want to know what kind of man I am. I want to know every mistake I make, all the details. I warn you, it's a tale far more barbaric than anything you can imagine. Do you still want to hear it? I do. And I have little doubt that I will believe it. If you're worried I might react the way I did earlier, I'll lay down my sword. You can tie me up too if you want. That won't be necessary. I'm going to trust you. I'll tell you the whole, hopelessly tragic truth. Everything I saw with no embellishments. Please do. I can't help but think, like, damn, you're gonna tell him the whole story, but, like, we're on a timer. We only have so much time to fix everything. I feel like our time could be better spent, but whatever. And so, I told him the tale I witnessed beyond the second door. That he lost his memory in a shipwreck, that he was treated like a beast by the people in the land where he washed up, that he massacred countless people, and that he took the life of his lover who had come in search of him, never wavering in her belief that he was still alive. You were just about to say that? That door took like 9 hours. That's what I'm saying. No, you know what? You would have to explain it like I do recaps. Could you imagine like Mikhail just being like the speed and the detail that I give for my recaps at the start of all these streams? All right. So then there's like a ship and it's like stormy and you go and you do this thing. You do some terrible things. Like, I would just, like, recap it just like that. Just imagine the swordsman's face, like, looking at me puzzles as I'm just, like, kind of, like, reading, like, trying my best to remember. My memory would not be great, and I'd be like, then there was something else that happened. Oh, I can't remember. And that he took the life of his lover who had come in search of him, never wavering in her belief that he was still alive. I told him about the white-haired girl. I told him about the things he made Giselle do. I didn't hide anything. As I spoke, he would occasionally grimace or his eyes would go wide for a moment, but not once did he interrupt me. He sat there in silence until I finished. Now I'm just imagining myself as Mikhail. It's like me just with long flowing white hair. And this swordsman's like leaned up against the wall and I'm like pacing back and forth in the room trying to remember all the details of the door. I feel like I can't remember. I'm trying my best. You weren't kidding. That was far worse than I'd imagined. It is the truth, though. You become the target of Morgana's loathing, and you are led back to this mansion. That is what lies in your future. As difficult as it may be to comprehend, that person is you. The man who does all those things hundreds of years from now is you. I really am a beast, a horrendously precarious creature. As I interpret it, when you lost your memory, you also lost everything you used to suppress your nature. You lost the foundation you had built, and as a result, you were no longer able to maintain that balance. Would that mean that what I am now is, comparatively speaking, human? No, I'm no different now. I have no more control over myself when I'm killing people than the man you described. You've seen me do reprehensible things, and in spite of that, you were never condescending or insulting, never acted disgusted or afraid of me. Are all angels as compassionate as you? I am not an angel. I was simply biting my tongue. Are you afraid of me then? I'm not afraid of you, no. What are you then? I don't understand. I am of the belief that now is not the appropriate time for me to allow my personal feelings to influence my actions. My task is to save Morgana. If I'm to be honest with you for a moment, I despise the man you are in the future, but I'm also equally frustrated at myself. You're right. The things you did were inexcusable. You murdered innocents. You killed the woman who came searching for you. But on a personal level, what angers me the most is that you put blood on the hands of the woman I love. I know very well that to you it's something you haven't done yet, but it was still your soul. It tears me apart inside that I couldn't return in time to stop it. You'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who wouldn't be angry to know someone they care about had received that kind of treatment. I suppose. If that's how you feel, though, aren't you interested in taking revenge on me? As I mentioned before, there are times when allowing your emotions to take the reins is the wrong course of action. This is one of those times. Seeking vengeance is the wrong thing for me to do right now. If I can eliminate Morgana's hatred, the three of your souls will be set free as well. So you're going to save me too? Yes, I am. Allegedly. I don't consider myself worthy of redemption, especially not after hearing about the things I will do. I'm a beast, through and through. A twisted, psychopathic monster. You were conflicted, though. You struggled against the creature that dwelled inside you. It's true that you found perverted joy in violence and murder, but you also felt kindness, which caused a part of you to seek peace. And the same can be said of you in this time as well. If you actually were nothing but a beast, or rather, nothing but a man that derived pleasure in killing, maybe then I could have truly reviled you. Then, you'd be irredeemable, no matter what had turned you into that. No matter how much pain and suffering had driven you to that point. But your instability, your constantly shifting desires, your mental frailty, all appear to me as very human traits. Tell me, how should I live my life from here on? What is it you want most? The easiest road for me would be the one I walk now, to continue being a killer. No fighting my desires, no resisting what's inside me. Would that be my salvation? To abandon my humanity entirely? I don't know what I should do, what I'm supposed to do. I'm at a complete loss about everything. I would like to believe that your desire to live in peace is sincere, and that's what I want for you too. It will be the most trying path, yes, because you will have to fight against your nature to stay on it. But we live in the human world. And you also have Pauline, who wants the same thing, extending her hand for you, inviting you to join her. So I encourage you to suppress your urges. Your life will not be easy for it, but I implore you to take the rocky road, for your own sake, and for hers. Even if it means my entire life is built on a foundation of lies? Before today, I believed it was wrong not to be true to oneself, but as I listened to you tell your story, I came to realize that maybe there are exceptions. Some things you can, and possibly should, keep locked inside you, where they can't hurt anyone else. However, I also think you have a tendency to try and act too perfect around her, both in this life and the next. You cover up so much of yourself, you become an entirely different person. You can be your conflicted, imperfect self around her. The man you are right now, lost and trying to find his way. I have little doubt she'll accept that man. What you need most is restraint. I see. So tell me, do you think my future can be changed? I don't know for certain, so all I can do is speculate. But as you share the same soul, I expect any changes you make now will be reflected in your future incarnation. I have my work cut out for me then. Pauline, she believed in me. She put her faith in a beast and went out in search of him. I cannot allow myself to be the kind of monster that would murder a woman like her. I have to change. I will change the future. You can do it. When my life here comes to an end, I vow to make my next one better. Thank you for listening to me and for giving me guidance. Can't say I'm particularly suited for the job. Knowing that my words are going to influence the direction of another's life is an unimaginable amount of pressure. I don't know. I'd say you pull it off well enough. If you ever decide to quit being an angel, you'd make a damn convincing missionary. I have no interest in being a missionary, and as I've told you, I'm not an angel. That's too bad. I joined the Church of Michael. Michelle. Don't look at me like that. I'm just kidding. Now, can I get angry at you? As I've been telling you, I'm an ordinary man. I'm not special in any way, like you seem to think I am. You're not ordinary. You're different, but not in the same way I am. I wouldn't ask any normal man to show me how to lead my life. I see. Although, what passes for normal differs from person to person, I suppose. Just as I don't think you're normal, I'm sure there are people out here who do. Perhaps. Or maybe they're just able to see my desire to be normal. Well, that's everything I have to tell you. You're going to want to talk to the Lord next, I assume. That's right. I'm going to convince him to hand over his key, and then I'm going to set Morgana free. I doubt you'll have much luck convincing him of anything, but I'll help in any way I can. I know they talked about this last time, but we should just kill him. We just, saving 2 of the 3 people who did bad things is pretty good a rate, 66%. Just have this guy kill the Lord. It's fine. We got him wrapped around our finger at this point. He'll do whatever we want him to. I appreciate it. I'll get him to come to supper tonight. You be there too. Okay, I'll be there. If I could ask you one favor though. Could you try to arrange that for as late as possible? That should be doable, but why? There's someone else I need to speak with first. Alright, I'll do what I can. Thank you. See you this evening then. Yeah, it's Maria. So what is it that Maria has, either information or item-wise, that's gonna assist us here? Did I lead him to the correct path? Will he actually find redemption at the end of it? No, I made the right decision. Even if he doesn't in this life, there's enough of a chance that he will in his next. One left, and that's it. I'm almost there, Giselle. I've almost made it to Morgana. Come this far. All that's left is to speak with the Lord. Stay focused, Mikkel. The pieces I have still don't fit together yet. As Morgana told it, the Lord was a cruel man from the moment she first saw him, and he wasn't much different in the swordsman's telling of events either. Are those portrayals the full picture of what kind of man he is? Will adding his perspective do anything but amplify Morgana's hatred? That makes sense. I felt there was empty space in that other CG. Yeah. We're gonna have a powwow. We're gonna have a powwow of sorts. And if he really is exactly the man he's been made out to be, then how do you explain his internal struggles from the third door? Did his core personality change with the times? Everyone else I've met has been fundamentally the same, though. Are you the exception? Jacopo? Morgana found joy in her life during her 3 years at the brothel, She wept about not being given the opportunity to thank them, so maybe Maria is more likely to be able to assuage Morgana's animosity. I'll have to hear what she has to say. Oh, God. I can barely move. My right arm. I can't feel my fingers at all. It burns. Oh, yeah, he's all like, ugh. I've managed this long, but damn it if it doesn't hurt. Great. Hold it together. Why must you hand out miracles for nothing? What is this? I know that voice. I'm looking up at someone. A woman. She's draped in a black fog and I can't make out many details. But even through the darkness, I know immediately who she is. She is Mother. Mother in quotes. No, she is not my mother. She is... Why would you even ask such a question, Mother? We're barely holding on as it is, my dear. It's not wrong to expect a little remuneration for our services. No, Mother, it is wrong. Miracles are not to be bartered for. God the Father does not charge for his miracles, so why should we, when I am only borrowing his power? Listen to me, Morgana. Every time you give someone a blessing, you're hurting yourself. If not for the miracle itself, you still deserve some degree of compensation for the pain. I know you're concerned for me, Mother, and I appreciate it very much, but I'm happy with the way things are. I'm happy to be able to help others with my Heavenly Father's power. A power you won't have much longer, my dear, if we can't afford to keep ourselves fed. I'm a saint, aren't I? Yes, you're my sweet little saint. God will not forsake his saint. No matter how difficult it may get, he will always provide me a way to continue doing his work. And you're the mother of that saint, aren't you? Yes, that's right. I conceived you untainted by the hands of a man. Then you must respect his will as well, Mother. It must be our highest priority. You're right. I was wrong, my dear saint. Now get in this carriage. You're going away. Mother, you agreed with me. You said I was right. So why are you taking money from that man? Mother? Mother looks over as strange men shove me into a carriage. The look in her eyes sends a chill down my spine. I see her lips moving. She doesn't actually say the words out loud, but I can make out every individual syllable. Because you're worthless to me. Damn. Welcome, daughter of God. You'll be performing miracles for me now. And if you cooperate, I can guarantee you'll live more than comfortably. Miracles are not something to be performed for one single person's benefit. What? Miracles are not magic or parlor tricks. They're a precious gift granted to me by my Father in heaven. Using his power for personal gratification is a grave sin. I will do no such thing. I entreat you to think long and hard about your actions. Do away with such selfish desires and dedicate yourselves to helping the people. The power you have been given was bestowed upon you by the hand of God. It is not your power. He is merely allowing you to make use of it for a short time. Pride is a sin. Please consider how you conduct yourself. You're an ignorant, insolent child, aren't you? I bought you. You are my property. You have no right to an opinion. That is not my opinion. That is the way of the world as God. Silence! You're not here to talk. You're here to perform miracles for me and my guests. As I've already told you, I will do no such thing. What you will or will not do is my decision, not yours. The Lord says with a sickening laugh, then grabs me by the hair and knocks me to the floor. I beg him to stop, but he isn't listening to a word I say. Cheers! A saint's blood and good fortune to all. I stare vaguely out at the crowd gathered for the Lord's blood feast. Every time he has guests, he throws another party, and every time he slices another part of my arms or legs open. It isn't long before their unsightly web of crisscrossing scars. The Lord sometimes has trouble deciding where to cut, but not out of any sense of sympathy for me. He simply thinks drawing blood from an untouched area of my body will make it more effective. The Lord strips me bare. Perhaps I'll use your stomach today, Saint. Should be able to get some nice pure blood from there. Stop this. Can you not comprehend what you're doing is an affront to the Lord? I'm free to do what I wish with my property. Saint or not, you are no different than any of my slaves. The Lord is greatly displeased with your actions. Then use your miracle powers to deliver divine punishment on me. Go on. You can do that, can't you? Your soul will be punished. You may not see the effects now, but you will pay for your sins one day. Ha! You're not as threatening as you think you are, buck-naked girl. Don't give me that look, girl. I have no interest in taking that from you. You'd be lucky to find anyone willing to lay with a girl covered in disgusting scars. All I can do is wait and endure day after day of torture and shame, of the Lord searching for new places to stick his knife. My entire body, except for my face, is covered in reddish-black wounds. Ugh. Someone, anyone, help me. Get me out of here. Please, someone. O Father who art in heaven, I pray for you to lead me unto deliverance. Father, your trials, they are much too great. Lovely. Kel's like, that was a bad trip. Morgana. That was much clearer than the first time I saw it. Everything she felt, her struggling, her sincerity, her pain, and her voice, felt almost as though I was the one going through it all. Oh, Lord, I can understand why Morgana would bear such a powerful grudge against him, considering everything he did to her. Why would he do that, though? Is there some reason, some explanation for his actions? I'm thoroughly exhausted, like I've just spent the last several months having my blood drained again and again. My limbs feel like they have boulders tied to them. Just trying to get to my feet makes me dizzy. So cold. She's probably waiting for me by now. I should get going. I have to do this. Move, damn it. Fighting against my body's attempts to succumb to gravity with every step through sheer force of will, I make my way to the courtyard. Her, the lady of the hour. Oh, there you are. Thank God you came. Sneaking onto church grounds is a bit unnerving, so if you... Are you alright? You look like you just came back from the dead. I'm fine. Thank you for coming. Now, to continue our conversation from yesterday. Whoa, slow down. Who do you think you're convincing? You look about as fine as a fucking corpse. If you're not feeling well, we can always do some other time. And whoa, what happened to your hand? It's a minor injury. It's convincing. Nothing of any significance. Seriously, who do you think you're convincing, man? I can get around just fine without a few fingers. You gotta take yourself into consideration, too. You can only run on raw determination for so long. And imagine how it makes me feel for a second, you asking to talk and showing up looking like that. If you want to get anything done, you gotta take care of yourself first. Head on back to your room and rest. Let's do this some other day, okay? When you're feeling... I don't have that kind of time. Noon tomorrow. That's my deadline. I have to take care of everything before then. I know damn well what condition I'm in, but that doesn't change what I need to do. If I don't, I can't save Morgana. I can't get Giselle back. That makes it all the more important you get your rest. And when do you suggest I do that exactly? Honestly, I don't get why you're in such a damn tizzy. Maria, I don't have the time, okay? God. Help! Get a hold of yourself, man. I am plenty calm. Sure don't look it. You're already pushing yourself to the edge. I don't want to be responsible for giving you that last nudge. So quit bickering with me, get your ass back, and get some rest. You don't understand the gravity of the situation. None of you do. You don't grasp how great an effect stopping what happens tomorrow will have. I have to keep moving, even if it means crawling through the dirt. If I don't, not only will I fail to make things better, Morgana's almost certainly got even worse fates in store for all of you. so long as our curse lives on. I'm the only one here who knows what awaits. So that makes you what, a prophet or something then? Not exactly, no. But in the terms of this time period, that would be the most apt description. Do you not believe me? Well, that is asking a lot. It's fine, you don't have to. But at the very least, I want you to believe that I genuinely believe something terrible is going to happen tomorrow if I don't do something. That I think I don't have time to waste. All I need you to do is tell me what you know. Could you do that for me? Assuming you actually are a prophet or whatever, why don't you just, get the hell out of town? Maria, you are being so unhelpful right now. Say fuck it, this is too much, and vanish into the night. No one's gonna blame you if you do. Hell, is anyone even gonna notice you did anything if you do succeed? I'm not in this for attention or praise. I cannot sit idly by knowing what I know, seeing what has happened and what will, knowing what Morgana went through, what she felt. I can't abandon her, not anymore. This town is in the Shadow Realm, Maria. Lock in. You don't even... This may not even really 100% exist, alright? Like... I'm not doing this necessarily for your own benefit. I mean, you might benefit from this, but this is for me. I can't abandon her, not anymore. I can't let my knowledge go to waste. While it is true that the mansion will continue to be wrapped in darkness so long as Morgana's curse remains in effect, and nothing can be put to rest until I do something about that, that's not my sole motivation anymore. I sincerely want to help Morgana. Giselle, is this what you meant when you told me you wanted me to save her? You seem like the kind of fellow who's always fretting about something or other. You don't know how to take it easy, do you? Though I guess, in a way, that's kind of why you can fight so hard, huh? Alright, you win. I'll talk. Anything you want to know, I'll tell you. Thank you very much. But, you sit your butt down first. Okay. Ha. Ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Morgana said that? She did. She described her 3 years there as one of the brightest periods of her life. Huh, who would have thought? Damn, that's kind of really great to hear. Did she never tell you herself how she felt? She never really made much of an attempt to be part of the group. It was like she had these colossal walls all around her. I can see that. Yeah, so I always kind of felt like I never knew if I was sticking my nose in too far or not, you know? She appreciated what you and the other women did for her. After the raid 4 years ago, she ended up in the hands of a slave trader. As she was being transported, she said this, with tears in her eyes. I'm sad because I didn't get the chance to show my gratitude to people very dear to me. Well, damn. So is that, absolutely 100% exactly what she said? You're not just pulling it out of your ass, are you? Those were her exact words, yes. As hard as it may be to believe. Nah, I believe you. I'm just surprised is all. I mean, just, wow, yeah. If I'd known that was how she felt, maybe I could have been a little friendlier with her. You weren't friendly with her? Not especially. I mean, that's not to say I was cold or anything. It's just that all the girls kept a bit of distance from her. Not because we didn't like her, but because that's what it looked like she wanted. Some distance. None of us were really cut out for the caretaker gig. As much as we'd love to be some kind of mother figure for her, we just didn't have it in us. Who was closest to her? He's dead. The slave? Huh? What's this about a slave? There was a young man, a slave who participated in the revolt at the Lord's Manor, who saved Morgana's life. Ah, yeah, that's the guy. He was the closest of any of us to her, or at least, he gave her the most attention. And he's 6 feet under. That's unfortunate. What can you do? People come and go. It's just the way of things. I thought that maybe, if he were still alive, that would improve our chances of saving Morgana. Improve our chances? There's only one way about it. We smash the Lord's fucking skull in and take his key. That's not an option. Doing that will not alleviate her hatred. Would you be willing to accompany us when we go into the observation tower? Huh? Me? Why? I want you to be there to say something to her. I'll say whatever you want me to say once you've gotten her out of the tower. Don't you think being able to hear the voice of someone she cares for when she's finally set free would do more to pull her out of the darkness than anything else? That's all the more reason it can't be me. Why not? Like I've been saying, I was never that tight with her. I kept my distance. I can't do anything, not with the reasons you've given me for why she's so full of hatred. I have no other options, though. You know, actually, while I doubt this will do much in the way of getting rid of her grudge, there is something I was supposed to give her, but never got the chance. Oh? It's nothing special, just a rinky-dink little necklace, but if you get the chance, would you mind giving it to her? If anyone, that should come from you. It's not from me. It was supposed to be from the slave. He got it for her as a birthday present, but that was the day the brothel got raided. So yeah, that's the story. Make sure she gets it, would you? Okay, I will. Thanks, man. Well, now that that's out of the way, I should split. Best of... There you are. Huh? Oh. There you are. You weren't in your room. I was worried sick. What are you two doing here? You're going to talk to Lord tonight, right? So... There's a chance you might be able to set the Saintess free. No way I'm going to miss that. Oh man, it's like the Fast and Furious movies, or I assume the Avengers movies, where everyone's coming together and we're gonna take on the Lord together as friends and family and save Morgana. All of our friends are coming to save Morgana. It's great. That's why you're here? That, and to say goodbye. I want for them to make reparations as soon as the girl's released. Do you feel the same way, Nellie? If Mel tells me he wants to, then I won't stop him. But he was threatened, so if it's possible, I don't think there's any need for him to rush to be punished. I don't want to lose my brother. Surely there are other ways he can atone. That's reasonable. I do feel guilty about what he was put through. It's not your fault what he did. Anyway, I'm really anxious about tonight, but I'm sure it'll all turn out fine. You'll make it work, won't you, dearest Mikkel? But I'll do my best. Oh, come on, you gotta act confident. Take care of my Mel for me, too. He's very fragile, so handle him with care. Like a big old box of china. Is he really that fragile? As for me, if he looks like he's gonna do anything he shouldn't, would you stop him for me? I wish I could be there to do it myself, but, well, he insists only the people directly involved should be there, and I want to respect that. I was never going to allow anyone to get hurt. Hurt anyway. I missed that word. That's good. Thank you. He and the Lord may have caused the girl a great deal of pain, but I still don't want anyone to get hurt. Some people deserve it, and I say let them have it. Now, Maria, don't be like that. You're the weird one, little Miss Perfect. Go around letting everyone off the hook for everything. The whole damn world's gonna come falling down around you. He did what he did for me, though. And the Lord? He's only in it for his own profit. Much as he says it benefits the city, it still comes back around to his own pockets. The Lord's not a bad man, though. Yeah, I've heard it 1,000 times. No one's a bad person in your eyes, I know. Now. Can we please try to keep things civil? Yeah, sorry. Bad habit, I know. I talk a lot of rot, but I don't really mean half of it. I do think he's much better than the old Lord, though. Hold on a second. What did you just say? He's better than the old... When did the current Lord take his place? 4 years ago? What? Morgana was 9 years old when she was at the Lord's manor. 7 years ago. Maria, were you ever at the Lord's Manor any time 7 years ago? Oh, that was Mikhail. My bad. Nah. Wait, let me see. So it was Mikhail, Maria, were you ever at the Lord's Manor any time 7 years ago? Okay, I see. Nah, I was never hired by anyone there. Then when? She didn't have any interaction with the Lord 7 years ago. Now it all makes sense. How did I not consider this possibility sooner? I know what kind of man he is, and I know the people around. I know the people he had around him. Maria, is the slave actually dead? Huh. You better have a damn good reason for this. Oh, here we go. I came because you said you had something important to discuss. Look at that. Just plops in the middle of that CG. Look at that. Now, care to tell me who the hell this white-haired man is and what he's doing here? You neglected to mention we'd be having company. I'm the one who asked him to arrange this meeting with you. And who the hell would you be? He's an angel. Or a prophet. What? Did you both finally snap under the pressure? I'll leave it for you to decide what you think I am. I will say, though, that I know everything. I know you've got a girl imprisoned in the observation tower, and I know you're taking her blood and calling it medicine, passing it out at the church. Which one of you squealed? No one told him anything, he just knew. He knows everything, including my deepest desires and what happens in my next life. He's probably peering into your soul this very moment. You've completely lost it, I see. Well, how you got your information doesn't matter. All I need to know is this. What are you hoping to gain from it? Wealth? My downfall? What? Morgana's freedom. I want you to give me your key. And then I want you to tell me your story. I've come here from the future, from the world after Morgana's death. Her soul courses with hatred for the three of you. She's placed a curse of eternal suffering on your souls. Has everyone in this damn table gone mad? Did you seriously think I would believe that nonsense? Don't interrupt me. Damn, he means business. My objective is not so much to rescue Morgana's physical body from the tower, but to save her soul from an eternity of loathing. I can't achieve that on my own, however, because I'm not from this time. I've had no direct interaction with her or anyone else here until just recently. In order to make her have a change of heart, I need to gather the truth from the people who are from this time. And I suspect that you hold the last piece of the puzzle. The biggest piece. That you have a far deeper connection with Morgana than anyone else here. No, I'm all but certain of it now. Your perspective is crucial to accomplishing my goal. Tell me your whole story, please. How you ended up capturing and imprisoning Morgana. What you thought and felt along the way. Your truth will get through to her. I know it. That will be the turning point in all of this. Her curse will be no more. And you will all be returned to the paths you were meant to walk. Everyone will have their salvation. Someone throw this madman out. I won't do it. Neither will I. Damn worthless curs. I'll call the guards then. Who do you think I am exactly? I'm the lord of this land. Under ordinary circumstances, I never so much as deign to speak with you, lowly peasant. Now get out of my sight, or I'll take it as an act of aggression, and you'll find yourself without a head. In this room, right now, you're not a lord. You're a lone man. Until you hand over your key, we're not letting you leave, and you'll find there aren't any guards for you to call. You're all alone on this estate. Your preoccupation with staying out of sight played right into our hands. Accept your defeat, Lord. We've already agreed to set the witch free. Cowardly worms. Ironic coming from you. I didn't think you'd turn coat quite so eagerly. The nun and your kid sister are in on it too, I take it. We were only working for you. We never felt any sort of allegiance to you. Loyalty founded on what one has to gain or lose is far more resilient than uncertain, fluctuating feelings. But it would appear this white-haired man shattered that foundation. How long have you been colluding with them, cur? I arrived in this era 2 days ago. What? 2 days? In just 2 days you got these worms dancing for you? They are not dancing for me. I merely spoke with them, and they listened. You're a disturbed man. You couldn't possibly have won these two over in a mere 2 days. He's no ordinary man. As you said, he knew everything. While I was talking to him, felt like he was looking directly into my soul. He's definitely an unusual one, yeah? Felt like he's known me my whole life, even though he just showed up out of nowhere 2 days ago. I didn't believe what he was saying at first, but he knew things he couldn't possibly know. My secret wish, something I've never told anyone before. I don't know what kind of tricks you're playing, but now I know why I've never seen you around. If you'd been lurking around the city for longer, sticking your nose where it didn't belong, I would have taken notice sooner or later. Huh, I'm impressed. In only 2 days, you managed to convince them both to betray me and set me up. I am, indeed, the one in charge of this operation, so if it's the witch you're after, I'm the obvious target, yes? And the two dogs there surely have some pent-up rage. So I take it you're going to tie me up, then torture me until I tell you what you want to know. That's not a bad idea. What do you say? Give me the word and he's in ropes. Wait, we agreed we weren't getting rough. I have no interest in solving this problem with violence. We are here to uncover the truth. We needn't exchange blows, only words. Anyway, if we were going to beat it out of him, we would have done it as soon as he walked through the door. We discussed this beforehand. We're only talking. No one's getting into any fights, physically or verbally. That's right. Well, looks like I've got no way out, so you've got me. I surrender. Take my key. Go open the tower doors. What? That was easier than expected. Your key is not important right now. Your perspective is what I seek. Why did you make it so the lock required 3 keys? One person is more than adequate for the job, so I split it 3 ways. Is that any of your concern, Kerr? Was it because it was too much weight to bear alone? You didn't actually want to imprison Morgana, did you? Something, somewhere went wrong. You backed yourself into a corner and couldn't escape. I'm done listening to you. Am I right or am I wrong, Lord? Or should I say, Jacopo? Jacopo? But isn't his name, Jean-Francois Barnier? Bon, I'm probably not saying that name right, but, yeah, I'm trying. That's Lord Barnier to you, you insolent child? You seem to be a bit confused. I am son of the House of Barnier, which means I'm royalty. No, you are not. I don't know how you came to start calling yourself Barnier, but there's not a drop of royal blood flowing through your veins. The slave revolt at the Lord's Manor 7 years ago. You were there, weren't you? During the revolt, you helped Morgana escape. That's right, you saved her life once. That was you. You were the slave from 7 years ago. Slave? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Me? A slave? Like hell a former slave could become royalty. You did it though. You went from slave to lord. Enough! I don't know who's filling that white-haired head of yours with this drivel, but I'm done listening to it. Say another word and I'll throttle you myself. Keep slandering my name, I dare you. Maria told me the slave from back then was dead. She didn't mean it literally, though. She meant he wasn't who he used to be anymore. Maria? You've been talking to her, too? Because she was afraid if Morgana found out, it would only serve to throw her deeper into despair. The man who had once saved her was now responsible for keeping her imprisoned. Do your ears not work, Kerr? I said I've had enough. I need your perspective. There's more to the story. I'm certain of it. I refuse to believe you acted only for your own benefit, only to cause her pain. If you want the key so damn bad, then take it. Set the witch free. I don't give a damn. But if you say another word, I'll rip your fucking tongue out. Again, the key is not what I need right now. I need your story. Are you deaf or just an imbecile? Your perspective is crucial to saving Morgana's soul. Enough! When you were a slave, you helped Morgana escape from the Lord. Silence! And you spent the next 3 years with her. Just one more fucking word, I swear to God. So how did you end up here? How did the boy from 7 years ago go saving her, to locking her up and stealing her blood? There's no excusing your actions, no. But please, I need you to tell me how you got to this point. Enough! Mikhail! Oh, the next thing I see is a dagger in his hand pointed at me. I reflexively try to push myself out of the path of his charge with my dominant hand, which sends a jolt of excruciating pain up my right arm. I'll rip your fucking head off! The Lord swings his arm up, and the necklace spills from my pocket, making a metallic clink as it hits the floor. When he sees it, his eyes go wide for a brief moment. Of course, I'm just as slack-jawed as him. What? What the hell is going on? Why? How? Why am I looking at a familiar cloud of inky black darkness? There's no one to answer my question, though, and no time to think about it either. I have to make a decision right now. The Lord, dagger raised, is quickly approaching. Off to the side, the cloud of darkness is expanding. I have to pick that thing? What are my choices? Reach into the darkness. I reach my hand into the darkness spreading from the necklace. And as soon as I do... What? What the hell is this? What's that black stuff? The blackness swells, consuming us all. Hope I picked the right thing. I probably should have saved before. Oh, man. Oh, shit, I forgot that I probably should have saved, because now I know that bad endings can happen. Oh, man. Oh, well, I guess we'll find out. Heart of the cards or whatever. No, stop. What is this? Don't make me watch this. His shouts fade into the distance, and my mind and body are swallowed up entirely. It's the same thing that happens whenever Giselle and I open a door. The same darkness I've gazed into again and again and again and again in that cursed mansion. That house that exists outside reality. Far, far off into the distance, I can see a gentle light like a hole ripped out of the darkness. Green grass and colorful flowers rustling in the wind. I don't understand. The darkness, it was never present in the past. It was, I thought, a phenomenon restricted to the realm of the dead. So what is it doing here? But even my questions are in short order, swallowed up by the void. Soon, my body ceases to retain its form, leaving only my consciousness to view the sights, sounds, and emotions of someone's past. I become an observer, as I have many times before. If he doesn't want to tell us his story, the story will be dragged out of him. I'm staring into a pair of ruby red eyes open wide with shock. I recall snapping at him, insulting him, but I don't remember what I said. Nor do I remember how he responded. All I know is that a wave of churning blackness appeared out of nowhere, washing me away. I'm powerless, helpless, hopeless. My young mind sucked into it like a whirlpool. Young? My young mind? Oh, for Christ's sake, you have got to be kidding me. Why? For the love of God, why am I being made to look back at this part of my life? The miserable, stupid fucking romantic I once was. Why am I turning back into the boy I tried so hard to forget? Where did this absurd black smoke come from, and why can't I get out of it? If it's that white-haired man who's doing this to me, then he's not an angel or a prophet. He's the goddamn devil himself. But all of my questions, my confusion, my frustration, everything that composes my present, is superseded by that darkness, wisping away into nothing. To be blunt, the world's a small place. There's an unimaginable amount of it out there, but you only ever get to see a minuscule fraction of that. And that goes doubly so for us. Poor barely get the chance to see any of it at all. And those who are born into affluence, well, they have no idea just how small our world really is. I never yearned for the world outside what I knew. I more coveted it, a splash of spite mixed in. I wanted to claw my way up the mountain, knock all the bastards down who had never seen what it was like at the bottom. If I made it high enough, I could do anything. I would have complete freedom. If that sounds like a childish fantasy to you, well, you'd be right. That's exactly what it was. There you are. You spend so much time in the graveyard that one of these days someone's going to think you're a gravekeeper, or maybe a grave robber. I can understand a gravekeeper, but I take offense at the suggestion I look like a grave robber. I'm praying for the souls who have no one to see them off. The girl, named Morgana, turned around to face me. Though I'd known her for some time, I'd rarely ever looked her in the eyes. Her face was almost always concealed beneath a dark hood, revealing only the tip of her nose and sometimes her lips. Honestly, I don't get it. Why do you care so much? These are souls who have no one else to pray for them. They may get a bit of lip service from a priest. At best, they may get a bit of lip service from a priest once or twice. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor, to pray for the abandoned souls. What I don't get is why you need to pray for all the dead at all, or for the dead at all. They're just bags of bones. I hope you enjoy an eternity in hell, blasphemer. Hey, that wasn't called for. Just joking, obviously. You take black humor to a new level. Morgana gave me a curt shrug, then turned away. She never faced anyone head-on for very long. She had a perfectly good reason for it. It wasn't because she disliked me or anything. I don't think, anyway. About 3 years earlier, something had happened that had caused large patches of flesh to fall off her face. Supposedly, she had looked fine before then, but I only knew her as she was at that time. The rest of her body was covered in wounds as well, but applying ointment to them had reduced the scarring significantly. Her face, though, showed no signs of recovering. A close friend of mine, a prostitute, said she thought it might be a psychological thing, but regardless, I continued applying the ointment to Morgana's face. Hey, come on, don't turn away from me. I know you can hear me. I brought ointment, so let me put it on you. It's a waste of time. You don't know that. Your arms look much better than before. It won't be long before your face starts healing too. The ointment isn't free. You're wasting your money. It's my money. I can use it however I please, so just shut up and let me do this. You're a very obnoxious man, you know. What was that? You want me to rub it in real hard, huh? Fine. With a forlorn graveyard as their backdrop, a young man applied salve to a girl's raw, exposed flesh. It was quite possibly the least romantic sight in the world. I would have, at the very least, preferred a somewhat more pleasant location. As the thought fluttered through my mind, I let out a defeated laugh, and I could soon feel her glaring at me. Morgana could be a bit standoffish, but honestly, I didn't mind. For her, this was actually quite sociable, in fact. When I first met her, she didn't act her age at all, but now she was starting to show signs of the 12-year-old girl hidden inside. 3 years prior, when I met Morgana, she had been the victim of unspeakable abuse at the hands of the Lord. I didn't know why he had done those things to her, and I didn't ask either, because I knew doing so would only reopen old wounds. All I knew was that the Lord was far gone as a human being, as to brutally torture a 9-year-old girl. At the time, the only thing that ever seemed to come out of her mouth was the word of God. Everything she said or did was ostensibly for the benefit of others, but it felt to me more like it was acting out of some sort of sense of duty rather than genuine concern. Honorable, but ultimately hollow. I much preferred this Morgana, even if she could be a bit jaded. What are you hoping to get out of repairing my face? I'm not trying to get anything, just want you to heal up. And here I thought you were going to try and make me work at the brothel. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not going to make you be a prostitute. What other reason could you have for wanting my face to get better? Because I want to see it. Isn't that enough? Just so we're clear, that wasn't me hitting on you, okay? The thought never occurred to me. She fell quiet, sitting there motionless as I rubbed ointment into her face. Her skin beneath my thumb was rough and unpleasant to the touch, and honestly, rather stomach-turning. It was hard to imagine her face would ever heal. What I'd said about wanting to see her face was true, but what I wanted more than anything was for her to be able to live a relatively normal life. I hope you're prepared to be let down if I ever do heal. That possibility's just part of the fun. You have as much tact as a worm. No tact and bad taste. I'm a real winner. It's a wonder no one throttles you in your sleep. Being a guy, of course I would have been pleased if she turned out pretty with her face healed, but her life was guaranteed to be easier than now, no matter what she looked like. That was what really mattered, ultimately. I could only imagine how hard it was to have your life turned completely upside down at the age of 9. A large portion of us in the slums had our share of misfortune, but hardly any of them stacked up to what Morgana had had to bear. She had no parents. When I'd asked about her mother, she'd gotten cagey with me, so I assumed she'd been sold off. When I'd asked about her father, though, she just pointed up at the sky, which I took to mean he was dead. A young girl, no family, sent off all on her own to some strange land, somewhere along the line ending up in the Lord's cruel grasp. Misfortune felt like an understatement, if anything. That said, it wasn't just out of pity that I gave Morgana so much of my attention. The other reason, though, well, she'd probably just go running if I told her. Hell, I wanted to hit myself over the head. I'll still be your friend, even if you turn out to be the ugliest girl in the city. Damn. You should be grateful. How is it you haven't managed to chase off everyone in your life yet? I act like a decent guy around other people, do my best to fit in. Then why are you such a dolt around me? Just doing my best to fit in. So you're saying this is my fault? Everyone could use a thorn or two. Makes it more exciting. You especially. Okay, that should be everything. Does it sting anywhere? Not particularly, no. Alright. Oh, also, finish up here and get back to Maria soon. Unless you'd rather I drag you there. Why? Seriously? It's your damn birthday, that's why. And? What do you think, dimwit? She wants to celebrate. Get back there soon, okay? Planning to drop by too. Obese rat level line. So true. Okay. She gave a sheepish nod, which was honestly kind of cute, but of course I couldn't say that, so I shrugged my shoulders, feigning exasperation, and then turned to leave. Once, I might have offered to accompany her back to the brothel, but Morgana never seemed keen on the idea of walking anywhere with me. Maybe she was afraid of grown men, after what had happened to her at the Lord's Manor, or maybe she just didn't want me to be seen with someone who looked like her. So, hey, I thought you were leaving. One day, I'll show you the world. I won't get my hopes up. Get your hopes up, damn it, I said with a soft chuckle, and then I took my leave. I had every intention of making good on that promise, and had more than enough reason to believe I could. 3 years back, there was a slave revolt at the Lord's Manor. That's not quite accurate, though, because while I was partly responsible for inciting the riot, I wasn't actually a slave. The local lord was spoken of, in whispers, as the second coming of the great tyrant of old. The people were constantly grumbling about how he seemed to treat the land like his own personal playground, exploiting everything and everyone on it for his own amusement. When enough stress and resentment builds up in a contained space, all it takes is a little shove from the outside to burst. And that was our plan. Me and a number of other dissatisfied citizens gathered together to pop that bubble and give the Lord a taste of how we felt about him. With the help of a slave trader, I infiltrated the Lord's Manor. I'd known slaves weren't treated well, but seeing it for myself, I thought most of these people would have been happier having been born as a dog or cat and owned by someone who actually had a heart. It was revolting. A flagrant injustice. Broadly speaking, there are two types of people who see injustice in the world. The first are those who had everything, who sit unchallenged at the top of the world, looking down on the less fortunate with pity. The second are those with nothing, who wish to overthrow the entire system keeping them down. It should come as no surprise that I fell in the second camp. Once I was inside, I went around the manor telling all the slaves about our plan. Most of them had long since lost the will to fight, but with enough assurance there were people on the outside ready and waiting to help. Glimmers of hope started to return to their eyes. Finding out they weren't alone, that they weren't helpless anymore, had an incredible effect on their morale. Once the slaves were convinced, the revolt began. It ended up being much larger in scale than I'd imagined, and many lost their lives in the process, but the majority of them managed to escape. Naturally, the slaves couldn't stay in the city, so I directed them to people waiting outside who could take them to another city or a neighboring country. I had neither the money nor the power to guarantee them a good life on the outside, but that hardly mattered to them. Everyone was sure that wherever they ended up would be better than staying, and I prayed that would be the case. It was during the revolt that I saved Morgana. I would have sent her off somewhere else like all the other slaves, but she was in so dire condition when I found her that she could hardly even move on her own. She had been sapped of all her willpower. So I brought her to the brothel where a friend of mine worked, and I asked her to take Morgana in. My companions and I reveled in the revolt's success. It wasn't enough of an accomplishment to have any real political implications, but we still felt like heroes. Drunk on victory, we started talking about going bigger, starting a full-on revolution. Once the elation passed, though, we realized there wasn't much more we could do. Even if we did manage to start a large enough uprising to kill the Lord, we were only peasants. Not only did we know, or not know, the first thing about ruling, the other counts would never acknowledge our authority anyway. We'd pretend to be in control until the next in line showed up, and that would be the end of that. So we just ended up sitting on our thumbs, no way to do anything about our discontent. Skip forward to about a month before Morgana's birthday. One day, a middle-aged woman approached me. I had never met her before, but she had wavy hair that reminded me a great deal of my own. Looking me straight in the eye, the woman said, "I was once a maidservant for the Barnier estate. They've done their best to keep it secret, but I had a child with the previous lord. And that child is you." The revelation came completely out of the blue. According to her, I had royal blood, and if we could convince the lord of that, I would become royalty. Furthermore, she, as my alleged mother, could return to her old life at the manor. The woman urged me to take action, to meet the lord, reveal my lineage, and reclaim my rightful place at the Barnier house. I would no longer be a poor peasant living in the slums. I would have a comfortable life. I obviously wasn't going to agree on the spot. Her story was so blatantly dubious I needed some time to think on it. If she was telling the truth, though, it could transform a revolution from a dream into a reality. We wouldn't be restricted to inciting inconsequential uprisings. I could seize power legitimately and make some actual change. So, I asked the woman to give me some time to consider. "Have you decided what you're going to give her?" That was the very first thing I heard when I stepped through the back door of the brothel. Maria, a short, blonde-haired prostitute and good friend of mine, flashed me a devilish smirk. "I bought a necklace, as per your suggestion. Girls appreciate that sort of thing, don't they?" "Most do. Me, I've got a taste for knives and other such pointy things. I doubt she has much interest in those, though." "Sometimes I wonder if you're actually a girl." Anyone could see that Maria and I were close, but our relationship was strictly platonic. Of course, given her line of work, it was unavoidable that people thought otherwise. And honestly, it irritated me every time someone suggested we were anything more than friends. People have this annoying, short-sighted tendency to assume that just because a guy and a girl are friendly, they must be intimate. Damn, truth bomb. It didn't matter that she was a girl. I only thought of her as a friend, and as best as I could tell, that's all she thought of me as well. Maria and I first met when we were children. Even at that age, she was already a prostitute, myself a petty thief. We were both incredibly lucky to have survived to adulthood with only ourselves to watch each other's backs. It's possible the only reason either of us maintained the willpower to survive this long was because we had each other to bitch about life to when things got bad. "So, is today the day? Are you finally going to tell her how you feel?" "Excuse me? Tell her how I what?" "Don't be coy. You know exactly what, and it's about time you manned up and told her. I think you've got a better chance than you think." "Do I need to remind you how old she is?" 12, as of today. Practically an adult." Come on, man. Come on. I was knee deep in dick. That line caught me off guard. I'm sorry. Maria, you shouldn't be saying those things. 12, let me try this again. I'll try to say it with a straight face. 12, as of today. Practically an adult. I was knee deep in dick at that age. Don't take that out of context. You're comparing her to what, you? The longer you hold off saying something, the more difficult it becomes. Break a leg. Party's gonna be in the back, so there won't be any customers around to interfere. Alright. I chewed over what Maria had said as I watched her disappear down a brothel corridor. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't overanalyzing. I did indeed have special feelings for Morgana. Women seem to have this strange, somewhat terrifying ability to read people's minds. And Maria was a prime example of that. I never once so much as suggested to anyone I might think anything of Morgana, but Maria had somehow managed to pick up on it almost immediately. Fortunately, she didn't seem particularly bothered by the fact, though if anyone else were to find out, I can only imagine the looks I would get. I mean, Morgana was 12 and I was 22. Oof. That wasn't normal. I've never felt this way about anyone else that young either. Thank you for clarifying that. Any other girl Morgana's age just looked like another kid to me. So why was she any different? She was covered in scars, and every other time we met, she would tell me to go to hell, and she refused to walk anywhere with me, and no matter how much ice I broke, I could never seem to get all the way through. Yet still, the world felt like it was just a little bit better a place when I was with her. It made me want to see her smile, no matter how grotesque her face. How would I even go about saying it, assuming I actually did? Even if your face still isn't healed in 4 years, I'll take you as my lifetime partner, Morgana. God, no, that's terrible. There has to be a better way to put it. Now I was getting stressed out, and it was all thanks to Maria. This was supposed to be a day of celebration, not of fretting over stupid personal matters. Not long after I arrived at the brothel and made my way to the back room, Maria and a handful of other unoccupied girls showed up. Morgana, who was supposed to be the guest of honor, was even more reticent than usual. The prostitutes chatted amongst themselves about work in unabashedly graphic detail, trading info on which customers were good and which customers were bad, all while Morgana looking incredibly uncomfortable. You guys think you could maybe change the subject? Like we have anything else to talk about? Making the birthday girl want to hide in a corner defeats the whole purpose, don't you think? Oh no, don't mind me. I don't have anything I want to talk about, Morgana said almost in a whisper, her head downturned. At least eat something then. The cookies are barely sweetened and dry as rocks, but they're edible. Jacopo, you little bitch. You got some stones to shit talk my cookies to my face. Stop it, Maria. Stop throwing things at me. The other girls cackled as Maria and I bickered. Hoping it might have elicited a reaction from Morgana as well, I snuck a glance over at her, but she remained expressionless. You are right about one thing, though. This is Morgana's day, so let's change the subject, Maria said with a little laugh, having hurled everything within arm's reach at me. Like I said, I don't have anything to talk about. Sure you do. You just have to look a little harder. Not saying you have to reminisce for us. It could be anything. Let's see. Here's an idea. Are there any guys you got your eyes on? I spewed my tea all over the table. There is. And then I started choking. What? Seriously? Holy shit. Who is it? Tell me. Who's the lucky guy? God. Wah, wah. Shit. Everyone fell silent. Maria gave me a sympathetic look, and I knew exactly what she wanted to say. Sorry, kid. You ain't got nothing on God. Asshole. If you're gonna dream, dream big, right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from, pining after the all-powerful, all-knowing God. I'm with you. You bald-faced liar. Grass may be a hell of a lot greener up there, but it's a bit far, don't you think? You're better off settling for the weeds down here. Did she just imply I'm a weed? Maria looked over and gave a wide grin at the sight of me grinding my teeth, then continued. Say, the young man over... Wait, stop right there. Don't say another word. Whoopsie, me and my big mouth. I almost did your job for you. God damn it, Maria. This was not good. Like hell I was going to let her corner me into saying it here. I stole a glance at Morgana, but her gaze was locked on her knees. I couldn't see what, if any, kind of reaction she was having. Morgana, what she was trying to say is that I have to go. What? I have to go to the bathroom. Sure. Morgana got up from her chair and left the room in silence. I imagine I was making a rather flaccid expression because as soon as Morgana was gone, Maria began cackling like a madwoman. My reply was the nearest object, courtesy of my throwing arm. Loser. How hard is it to just say it? It would have been easier if you hadn't cornered me like that. You think I believe you would have done it without a little nudge? I would have. Eventually. Eventually ain't gonna cut it. Now's the right time. And don't worry, me and the girls won't make fun of you for getting your rocks off to little girls. That's not the reason I like her. Besides, I would wait at least 4 years before... Doesn't mean you can't tell her now. I think it would do her wonders, really. She's, well, you know. So I think knowing someone cares about her will lighten the load a bit. When she comes back, give her the necklace and tell her how you feel. And if she turns you down, we can all have a good laugh about it. Maria and a few other girls chuckled. As uncomfortable as she was making me feel, she had a point. Regardless of whether Morgana reciprocated my feelings or not, there was a good chance that just putting them out there would help in breaking down the wall she had built in her heart. And maybe one day, I would actually be able to see her smile. I'll do it. I'll tell her. Didn't matter if I came out looking like a loser. It didn't matter if Morgana wasn't interested in me that way. What mattered was that she knew someone accepted her, regardless of her appearance or the things she had been through. And if, by some chance, there really was royal blood flowing through my veins, then I can make good on my promise to show her the world. I could put an end to her life of poverty and abuse, replace it with one of comfort and wealth. I could buy her even better medicine, something that could actually heal her face. If I truly were royalty, I could do so much more for her. Makes it sound like I want to be some kind of fairy tale hero or something. But honestly, I wouldn't have minded that. If I was going to make her happy, to wipe away all her past misfortune, why couldn't I make it a little dramatic? It wasn't usually my style, but in this case, I wouldn't have objected to a storybook ending. Okay, I might have to take just a very quick BRB. I gotta go get some more water. I've been reading for 2 hours straight. We'll read for like another hour when I come back, though. And we'll hopefully... I'm hoping to at least finish his story, but we'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm coming back. Sorry, I needed the whimsy of Green Shell Mario Kart BRB screen to excuse all this into 12-year-old talk that's going on. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's resume. Like I said, maybe aim for like another hour of reading this. And then we'll switch to Metal Gear. Just planning all out. This, though. No, this wasn't the kind of story I was hoping for. The heavy curtains separating the guest rooms had been torn to shreds, and they were splattered with blood. A man, apparently caught without enough time to defend himself, lay splayed out naked on a bed, his empty eyes fixed on the ceiling. The whole area reeked of blood. All I could do was stare stupefied at the carnage. What the hell? Why? How could this happen? My dumbfounded muttering went unanswered, though. The few who were still alive could no better make sense of the incomprehensible massacre than me. The sudden, arbitrary upheaval of our world. The inexplicable, inescapable reality. Shortly after Morgana stepped out, I heard a woman scream from the front of the brothel. Next, a man shouting. At first, I assumed it was one of the customers losing his temper over something, but the tone of the scream seemed somehow off for something like that. It wasn't long before the noise had escalated to alarming levels, so I dashed toward the source of the shouting. A good dozen men, bandits, or maybe thieves, they seemed more organized, had raided the brothel. They slaughtered all the customers, stripping them of any valuables, and they tied up the girls, killing any who resisted. The first thought that rose to my panicked mind was that I needed to find Morgana. I needed to get her out of here, no matter what. I couldn't let her birthday turn into a tragedy. She had already been through enough, and I had to make sure she didn't suffer any further. I had to make her life into something good. I searched and I searched, but there was no sign of Morgana anywhere, until suddenly something seemed to crash into me from behind, causing me to stagger. It took me a few seconds for the pain to set in, which is when I looked down to see the tip of a blade sticking out of my gut. Blood streamed along the metal surface, and there were little bits of flesh caught on the edges. I turned around just in time to see the man holding it kick me away, and before I had time to process what was happening, I hit the floor and lost consciousness. If I were a hero, I could have surely eradicated all the violent intruders in the blink of an eye, saving everyone. Protected that which I wanted to protect, not had to lose anything. But I was a mere boy. A weak boy, helpless against a few robbers. A useless boy, unable to protect anyone. When I woke up, Maria was kneeling over me, sobbing. No sign of the tough, foul-mouthed girl I knew. Aside from her, there were 2 other girls, also crying, leaving only 4 survivors. Apparently I wasn't dead. Looking down, I saw my bare stomach wrapped in blood-soaked bandages. The brothel lay in ruins, a bloody pile of torn bedding, clothes, and bodies. I made my way back to the front, and all I could do was stare stupefied at the carnage. What the hell? Why? How could this happen? My dumbfounded muttering went unanswered, though. Maria stood beside me, quietly rubbing her trembling arms. Where's Morgana? I couldn't find her. Why not? I'm sorry, I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find her. I'm so sorry. I wanted to say I wasn't blaming her, but I couldn't find the words. If I had power, I could have prevented this from happening. What kind of power would I have needed, though? The physical strength to overpower the thieves? No, I need to think bigger. If I weren't a peasant, but someone of real influence and import, no one would dare stand up to me. No petty thieves would ever even consider a raid on me. And I would have the power to punish anyone who tried. But regardless, this would have never happened at all. I was supposed to give Morgana a good life, to show her the world, to make her smile. If only I had power. Absolute unflinching power. If I had climbed to the top of the ladder when the chance was offered to me, this all could have been avoided. If only I had asserted my place as royalty a month earlier, as a woman who claimed to be my mother had urged me to. I wanted power. The power to keep everything I cared about safe. The power to change this damned world. The power to stop those filthy thieves. The power to keep her by my side. I wanted power. I heard about the attack on the brothel, and that you were hurt. I'm so glad to see you're well. About a week after the raid, I went to see the woman who professed herself my mother. As you would have expected of someone who had served at the old lord's manor, she was very elegant and graceful. The shack where she stayed, though, was a shabby, drab place with bare wattle and daub walls. Wattle? Huh? You were concerned about my safety? Of course. Show me a mother who is not always concerned about her child's safety, says the woman I'd never seen until a month ago. Physical distance has no bearing on a mother's love, she said with a soft smile. Age had clearly begun taking its toll on her, but I could see hints of former beauty. If you had gone to speak with the Lord and revealed your lineage when I first came to you, you would never have been in that kind of danger. There is still time. Go to the Lord's manor. Show him. I'm not really your son, am I? The woman fell silent for a moment, observing me. I could see the resemblance between us, yes, and I had no memories of my mother. It would be nice if she were to show back up someday, but it just wasn't likely. This whole thing felt extremely contrived. Discussions will progress much smoother if we both know what the other wants out of this arrangement. Start by telling me who you really are. Were you actually a maidservant for the previous lord? She gave me a nod, then walked over to a grimy shelf and retrieved a ring that looked very much out of place. It was made of gold, engraved with an elaborate insignia. Look at this. It's a Barnier family crest. The previous lord gave me the ring as a gift, and I've kept it ever since, even after our relationship was discovered and I was chased out. I didn't sell it because I knew I was with child. They'll have no choice but to acknowledge you as a legitimate heir if you show them this ring. Why did you wait so long to come find me then? I was afraid they might kill you if I brought you in as a baby. Why were we separated? Misfortune. One day, bandits came and kidnapped you. Presumably, they were hired by the Barnier estate because they didn't want your existence coming to light. I consider it a miracle you're still alive. I can only imagine the stern look on my face as I listened to the woman speak. Part of me did indeed want to take everything she said as true, wanted to believe I was someone important, but I couldn't convince myself I had anything other than a commoner's blood running through my veins. It would appear you've done your research. I don't have any other family to the best of my knowledge, which does indeed make me a good candidate for you to step in and claim your stake on. If I were to guess, your child with the Lord was either passed away or never existed at all. It's probably true that you worked at the Barnier's manor, and it's probably true that you had relations with the former Lord. You were chased out, and now you live in poverty. You want to go back to your former, more comfortable life, and while you're at it, take vengeance on the current Lord. But, being a woman, you have no means to accomplish that yourself, so you came up with the idea of using a fake son. If your child were still alive, he'd be right about my age, wouldn't he? And we look similar enough for you to convincingly claim we're related. But the biggest reason you chose me is because I've made something of a name for myself, because of one of the people involved in inciting the revolt 3 years ago. The perfect choice to spearhead a revolution. How dramatic! The man who set the Lord's slaves free was secretly his family. The people would eat it right up. So, how far off am I? For some time, the woman sat in silence. Eventually, she broke it, not by yelling in anger or desperately trying to refute me, but with a smile. I knew very well what lurked behind that smile, too. Scorn. You're sharp for a filthy peasant. It would seem I chose wisely. I was right. She was a manipulative, conniving shyster. But that I could work with. That fit so much better. I wasn't royalty. I wasn't a hero. I was a filthy peasant. I'm in. The first thing I did after agreeing to work with the woman was not to approach the Lord, but to reveal my false lineage to my accomplices. They all thought I was joking until I showed them the ring. Then, their dreams of revolution started seeming far more realistic. Maria was the one exception. Not only did she not believe me, she tried to stop me from going through with the scheme. Haven't you had enough danger for one life? Come on, forget about all this revolution stuff. We can build up a new brothel and just stay low for the rest of our lives. Does that really sound so bad? You're the only friend I've got left, Jacopo, she said, somewhat desperately. I sympathized with her concerns, but I didn't want to let this chance to gain some real power slip away. I was done having things taken away from me. Hear me, my fellow citizens who live in suffering at the hands of your supposed lord. Within me flows the blood of the previous lord. I am the rightful heir. Behold, the Barnier's golden ring, proof that I am of noble birth. Victims of this terrible tyrant, the time has come to start anew, and I shall be the one to lead you down that path. The poor, the hungry, the deprived. All of you, stand with me. My call to arms stoked the flames in the people's hearts. When the assault on the Lord's manor began, they were an inferno of righteous justice. No one was thinking straight. I was about the only one with something resembling a clear head amidst the chaos. If I were really a hero, then I would have rejoiced in that glorious day, that momentous turning point in the city's history. I would have been honored to have led the charge, but this was all about one woman's avarice and desire for vengeance. This was all about one man's lamentation of his own weakness. I wasn't motivated by any desire to help these people. The Lord, backed into a corner, begged for his life. I decapitated him, then held his severed head up for the people. Their cheers and shouts filled the air. As I watched them rejoice, I wondered, was this the future that awaited me? Would the people come after me next? Was my head going to be the one on their hands one day? In one of their hands one day, I should say. The king and the other counts acknowledged my royalty, though it was less because I had the Bonnier's ring and more because they thought that was the best way to prevent things from getting any messier. So with their approval, I formally became the lord of the land. I also assumed the former lord's name because despite his reputation with his people, it was a name people knew and one that held far more clout than my own. And just like that, my longtime dream of power had come true. That said, simply becoming the lord didn't mean everything had fallen neatly into place. Many of the local noble families accused me of acquiring my rank illegitimately. They waited, fangs bared, for me to slip up. They even tried to set me up on more than one occasion. I couldn't trust anyone. On top of that, if I took too long making the improvements I had promised the people, they'd start saying I was just as much of a tyrant as the previous lord. There was only so much I could do at once, though, especially with my hands so full fending off the vulturous nobles. Exhaustion soon began to set in. This wasn't the world I was looking for, the one I wanted to show Morgana. It was day after draining day of betrayal, constantly having to look over my shoulder, fighting to meet unrealistic expectations. I was starting to lose sight of who I was as a person. I couldn't let anyone see me looking weak. They would see it as an opportunity to take advantage of me, to manipulate me, to eliminate me. I needed power to protect myself from those people. Attaining rank was only the first step. I needed even more power, enough to ensure no one would ever be giving me orders, could ever play me for a fool. I turned my attention first to bolstering the economy. I provided subsidies to merchants in the city. I expanded trade routes. I made it known that people of any skin color, even those not welcome in other territories, were welcome in my land, trying to bring some vitality to the city. The previous lord had evidently loved to throw parties, squandering away nearly all the tax money on his own entertainment. If he had left me more to work with, I would have used it to clean up and repair the slums, but for the time being, that had to remain another item on the checklist. I needed more money flowing through the city as a whole before I could make any headway on fixing up the poorer areas. Helping the people who needed it most quickly became a secondary objective. I had a pretty good idea of what my former accomplices still in the slums were saying about me. He used us. I could practically hear them whispering. Some of them even started publicly slandering me in an attempt to undermine my authority, claiming I wasn't suited to be in a position of power because I had spent most of my life in the slums. It wasn't long before they had convinced the people I was just another tyrant. I had hoped that they, if no one else, would have sympathized with my position, realized that I had every intention of helping them, and that I simply didn't have the resources for it yet. But no one saw what I was doing. No one believed me, even when I tried to explain. In one case, I invited an old companion to my manor to discuss matters, but the meeting only turned into an attempt on my life. Having absolutely no one I could trust, no one I could call an ally, hit me a lot harder than I had expected. It twisted my worldview beyond recognition. I had no need for sympathy. I couldn't show care for anyone, otherwise someone would inevitably use it against me, old friends and strangers alike. In fact, those who knew me best, those who were aware of where I had come from and what I'd been before, were the ones who fought the hardest to tear me down. Rules needed to be created, punishments established. I couldn't allow anyone to take this power from me. Anyone who so much as suggested I had come from the slums, anyone who dared disrespect me, had to be eliminated. All threats exterminated before they could reach me. Somewhere along the line, I had lost sight of my original dream, lost all my desire to do right by the people I cared about. Hell, I didn't have anyone to do right by anymore. Why did I need to climb to the top of the ladder? So no one could kill me. Why did I want money? So no one could mock me. Why did I want power? So no one could oppose me. 4 years passed, and I found myself in a very, very distant place. Miracle blood? Sounds like a sham to me. You never know. They say the sound of her first cry brought rain to the land where she was born, saving the whole village from drought. And they say her blood has the power to cure any disease. One day, a curious rumor came to my attention, the kind of whispering I wouldn't usually put much stock into. It was said that there was a witch living in a cottage by the lake. Few had ever seen her face, but they claimed she had the same voice as a girl who had supposedly performed miracles several years earlier in a faraway village. The people loved their stories of heroes and miracles, and if I could show some support for the churches, then maybe people would stop complaining I was focusing too much on the economy. So I devised a plot to capture the witch and make use of her miracle blood. I would establish a new church, have it be run by a nun the city had been fawning over for some time. They called her the Saintess. There, I would take the witch's blood and call it a miracle medicine, distributing it in exchange for tithes, which the people would certainly come for in droves. And if the blood somehow did happen to have special powers, then that would make the scheme that much more effective. I'll worry about the veracity of the rumors later. Right now, all I want for you is to capture her and bring her to me. I was too busy to handle capturing the witch myself, so I went and found someone to handle it for me. I was too busy to handle capturing the witch myself, I should say. That makes more sense. He was a former slave who had, several years back, massacred an entire carriage of slaves and the slave traders transporting them. Obviously not an upstanding citizen, but there was little doubt he would have any trouble apprehending a single witch. The biggest reason I chose him, though, was because he was enamored with the nun. I honestly thought it was rather hilarious, a murderer falling in love with a nun. I had been expecting the man to object, but he agreed almost without hesitation. There was a mansion on the outskirts of the city, which the previous lord had built for himself and had gone unused since his death. It was there I decided to keep the witch, and it was there I decided to establish the church. The nun would have ample space there to provide temporary shelter to the sick and needy. I thought, with what little remained of my conscience, that I was doing the right thing. If one witch, probably an old woman at that, was all it cost to accomplish such good, then a worthy sacrifice it was. In an ideal world, it wouldn't matter young or old. A human being was an acceptable price for anything. But this was far from an ideal world, so I decided that taking what little remained of this woman's life was the best. No, the only acceptable course of action. She would probably despise me for it, but I would gladly accept her hatred in exchange for the benefits her blood would bring the city. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor, to pray for the abandoned souls. Morgana's words from years back popped into my head. I believed that, as aggressive, self-centered, and utterly lacking in compassion as my methods may have been, I was following that mantra. I was offering a helping hand to people who needed it in the only way I knew how. I wasn't so dense as to think she would approve of me making an old woman pay for the price of my charity, though. Doing this made me no better than a thug. But everything has a price. For every extravagant feast held, a dozen people go the night without food. That's simply the way of the world. I was no god. I was no saint. I had blood on my hands. I was a villain. I knew no way to accomplish good without doing bad. After the swordsman departed, I took some time to myself. I filled a goblet with water, smelled it, and gave a bit of it to my pet dog before gulping down the rest of it. Are you still out there somewhere, Morgana? What would you think of me if you saw what I had become? If only you knew. Several days later than originally planned, the swordsman finally arrived at the mansion. I had chosen the observation tower on the grounds for the witch's prison, and it was there I waited for him. He showed up with a burlap sack swung over his shoulder, setting it down on the ground and saying, "There's your witch." I could only hear muffled grunting from inside the sack, but it didn't sound like an old woman inside. The man's clothes and the bag both reeked of blood. "Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood. You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made, limbs were lost." I cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspected anything. That you were able to immediately recognize as a smell of blood says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you? Enough yapping. She is alive, yes? Of course. I felt a tinge of guilt for the woman, but it didn't last long. Her role in my scheme and the fate that awaited her was the same regardless of the condition she arrived in. I tossed my gaze from the man to the bag. He crouched down to untie it, revealing a young girl with one arm severed. As soon as I saw her, I knew exactly who the girl was. But why? What was she doing in the bag? Why was she the lakeside witch? What was she doing here? Why was she so pale and shaking? Why had I ordered her captured? How could I have done that? How could I have let this happen to her? Morgana. My voice was hoarse and rattling. She looked up at me, her face just as disfigured and hideous as it had been 4 years before. My mind flashed back to her birthday, to when I had considered offering to take her as my lifetime partner if her face hadn't healed in 4 years' time. Is that you? Her question yanked me out of my memories. You remember me? Did Morgana remember me? The 3 years we had spent together? What kind of person I had been? The boy who had refused to give up putting ointment on her face? Those horribly unromantic encounters at the graveyard? Her taking shots at me taking shots at her? All that time we had shared. How could I ever forget? Morgana, she remembered me. How could I ever forget all the pain and humiliation you put me through? How could I ever forget the blood sabbats you so loved to hold? What? What was she talking about? Haven't had enough, have you? Leaving scars on every inch of my body wasn't enough for you? You haven't had your fill of my blood? No, that wasn't me. I was the one who had tried to heal those wounds. You're the man who bound me, cut me up, called me a witch, and then tried to kill me. I haven't forgotten you even for a moment. No, Morgana, I was the man who rescued you from him. I don't care how much my father preaches forgiveness. That's the one thing you'll never get from me. I despise you with all my soul. I revile you with every fiber of my being. For every scar you gave me, I give you a lifetime of hatred. No, Morgana, I was not aware you knew the witch, Lord. His voice made my blood run cold. I didn't just know her. Morgana was. This man, the Lord, he destroyed me, mind and body. No, that was another man. He was already dead. I had just taken his place. I'd come from the slums. I'd been part of the slaves' revolt. I knew I had to tell her. He ruined my life. But between the sting of Morgana's accusations and my need to protect my current position, I couldn't muster the strength to do it. If someone were to find out I wasn't legitimate royalty, that I had come from the slums, then everything I'd worked so hard to build up to who, though? For who, though? Would come crumbling down. Do I really think it hadn't already? Hasn't. All I had left was my power, my rank. Is that what I actually wanted? I couldn't afford to lose that too. When did I first start straying from the path? Yes, I know her. Or I knew her years ago. I see. What do you want to do then, Lord? You look sick. This doesn't change anything. You lock the witch up and proceed as planned. Why? Why couldn't I tell her the truth? How? How could I keep her imprisoned? What? What had I wanted power for her in the first place? What had I wanted power for in the first place? Would anyone ever believe me if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? Well. So who, after we hear everyone's story and how they relate to Morgana, the three guys, the Lord, the Assassin Man, Swordsman Man, and Mel, who do we feel the most bad for? Who do we feel like deserves the most forgiveness for their involvement in this? You probably feel the worst for Mel, right? He's a little kid. He was basically strong-armed. His sister was threatened to be killed. And then and then maybe a surprising pick. Literally only Mel. Sure. True. If I had to only pick one, I'd pick Mel for sure. So like, it's Mel way at the top, and then like way down the ladder. Surprisingly, I would maybe say I feel slightly worse for Jacopo over the swordsman guy. Because Swordsman did his thing because he just was like, because he was a bad person, felt he needed what he would call a tether to keep himself as sane, basically, and saw an opportunity to help this person that he needed. But like, at least Jacopo was like trying to get shit done, kinda. I don't know. But yeah, really, the answer is just no. Would anyone ever believe me? Same that if she spoke up, I would have stopped. Line pissed me off. Yeah. Before me floats a man, twisted and writhing in pain. Although, whether what I'm looking at could be said to resemble a human is a difficult question. It's a hazy, indistinct shape, on the precipice of being consumed by darkness everlasting. I know very well what I'm looking at. The moments before a man's soul shatters. Did I do the same thing to him? That Morgana did to me? Was it I who summoned the darkness? Who laid his past bare? Who forced him to relive those events? To experience once more everything he felt, everything he thought? Who put him through that despair a second time? I can only imagine how he must have felt, causing someone he once cared for so much pain. The things he did are abhorrent, more than deserving of reproach, and it would undoubtedly be easier for him to simply vanish into the eternal abyss, but I can't allow that to happen. He still has work to do. His story is essential. It's almost certain Morgana still doesn't know who he really is. He needs to face her, to reveal the truth with his own words. That's the only way we're going to get her to have a change of heart. That's not all he has to say to her either, so I must bring him back, pull him out of the darkness. I grab a man by the arm and begin scouring the blackness for an exit. After some time, I see a speck glistening high above, so I make my way upwards, back into the harsh light of the real world. The darkness parts, and we re-emerge in the dining hall. The man is still straddling me, dagger held above his head, just as he had been before our trek into his past. His eyes are open wide, and his hand is trembling. A few moments later, his fingers go slack, and the blade slips from his grasp, piercing the wood floor by my face. Hey, what was that? I swear I saw some kind of black cloud or something. What happened to you two? Neither of you saw any of that? Saw what? If you didn't see anything, then don't worry about it. The necklace. It must have been the key to unlocking his memories. Like when I touched the mirror in the mansion. I have no idea why certain objects show me different memories, but I got what I needed, I think. I'm fairly certain the white-haired girl is Morgana now. The things Jacopo did to her and felt for her behind the third door have much in common with him and Morgana in this life. Why did you dig that up? How the hell did you do that? Why did you show me my former self? Why did you make me watch that? Why didn't you tell her? Had you only opened your mouth and told Morgana the truth, told her you weren't the previous lord, told her who you really were, things could have turned out differently. Turned out differently how? Knowing would have only worsened her pain. Yes, you're exactly right. The man who once saved her life is now the source of all her misery. How would knowing that do anything but cause her more despair? The least you could have done, then, was let her go free. I'd already put money into setting up the church here. Her arm had been cut off. There was no turning back. You can't go back from that. You could have, yes. You could have stopped then and there. Don't act like you know anything. You couldn't possibly comprehend the weight on my shoulders, you dirty peasant. You're right, I can't. I'll be damned if I want to. To hell with understanding the feelings of a man who could easily so lose sight of what mattered most for a little power. Money, power, that's not what you really wanted to hold dear. So why couldn't you let go of that? Why did you have to go and let what mattered most slip through your fingers? Had you done anything, it wouldn't have had to come to this. I couldn't have people knowing where I came from. I needed wealth, rank. No, you didn't need any of that. Do you have any idea how much Morgana treasured her time with you and Maria? Do you know how she described that period? As one of the brightest chapters of her life. Those 3 years she spent at the brothel until it was attacked. She said that was where she learned how to find joy in life. Enough! She would never say any of that. Why do you refuse to believe me? She never opened up to anybody. That's all just your fantasy. What do you want to see in her? You're trying to convince me of something that was never there. No, I think he's right, Lord. I believe she did feel that way. The day I killed that carriage full of slaves 4 years ago, this girl you're talking about, she was there. What? That can't... And she said this to me before I began my massacre. I'm sad because I didn't get the chance to show my gratitude to people very dear to me. She was crying as she did. So that's who she was talking about. It was you. There's no way. When exactly did the brothel attack 4 years ago take place? It was the winter. I see. Winter 4 years ago is when I met the girl too. That reminds me. She mentioned something unpleasant happening to her 4 years ago during one of our conversations. That she was forced to part ways with the people who taught her that humans are capable of kindness. She was talking about you. There's still time. You can still set Morgana free. You can still reveal your true self to her. She was likely in shock that day, not seeing or thinking straight. She still thinks you're someone else. Hearing you where the Lord set something off inside her, preventing her from seeing who you really were. Her time in the previous Lord's captivity left scars even deeper than she knew. So all it took was that one word. And in her eyes, you became him. Which isn't to say you haven't caused her much pain yourself, but I still believe your truth is the key to allaying her hatred. It will change your perception of the world. I'm certain of it. So please, release Morgana and spill your heart for her. I was planning to end it all with the Harvest Festival. What? I was already planning to set her free then. I knew damn well it was much too little, much too late. But I needed an excuse to face her. Some occasion to give me that last nudge. So I told myself, that's going to be the day. That's when I'm going to do it. But you had to show up out of nowhere, digging up my past. Throwing all my plans out the window. You still think I'm the reason you carefully laid plans fell apart? I'll let her go, during the Harvest Festival. Tomorrow she goes free. Tomorrow's too late. What difference does it make? When the bell tolls noon on the day of the Harvest Festival, Morgana dies. I've had more than enough of your so-called prophecies. I'm done. Why do you still refuse to believe me? I'm not making anything up. I'm from the future. I know how this ends. I love that line. I'm from the future. It just sounds so silly. Just telling someone that you're from the future is just a funny prospect in general. Trust me, I'm from the future. Having an occasion and a plan can certainly make it easier to take action, but you can't just wait for the right occasion for everything. Sometimes, if you don't act on something as soon as you decide to do it, you'll miss your chance. In your next life, you make the same mistakes. You lock someone up that you care about, eventually causing her to break down entirely. And you're so fixated on waiting for the right occasion, you completely destroy any chance of salvaging anything. If you're set on releasing her, then release her. Jacopo? Stop being so damn fixated on your occasions already. Enough! Damn you. You're right. You don't have to tell me I'm being a fool. I'll do it. Right now, I'll do it. I'll release her. Oh shit, we're gonna see her? It's happening. Nobody panic. What is this? Don't you just hate when you get a... sorry, that's just a... I was gonna rant about something else. What is this? Okay. Someone adding everyone in a Discord, as a Discord mention. Okay. I thought it was some. I thought I got like a message on Discord that I had to respond to, and it's like, nope. Curse people. Okay. Sorry. Thank you for making up your mind. I didn't make the lock require 3 keys because the weight was too much to bear alone. It was because having others with me would force me to keep up the Lord facade, to prevent me from letting anything slip. Or maybe I was just waiting, hoping someone would betray me, make me pay. Pathetic, I know. You can have the necklace. It belongs to you, though I doubt Morgana will accept it. I hope you'll still attempt to give it to her yourself. Will you do that? Where did you get that anyway? From Maria. I thought she would have thrown it out by now. I assume she doesn't think very highly of me? Be honest with me. She was planning to kill you. Ah, maybe that would have been for the best. To her, I'm nothing but a power-hungry traitor. The necklace, I'll take it. Here you are. Let's go. When he takes the necklace, Jacopo looks as though he's on the verge of tears. Whether from the pressure of not wanting to lose face, or simply because he's no longer able to, he doesn't actually shed any, though. The other two just stand and watch him quietly. Neither of them saw the vision of his past, but they don't pry either. Our exchange was probably sufficient to give them an idea of what happened, even if they don't know the details. Clutching the necklace in one hand, Jacopo takes up the head of the procession to the observation tower. And while it lasts but for a brief moment, I see an image of a young man he used to be in his slightly slouched shoulders. Oh, we're fucking doing it. Oh, look at those 3 keys. Let's rank the key designs we just got glimpses of. Quickly, before we forget what they look like. They each insert and turn their individual keys. The lock disengaging and the door giving a deep groan as it swings open. Alright. MOT, moment of truth. I did say there was a small part of me that thought, I think of it less now likely as a chance, but there was a small part of me that thought we were going to go up there and she just wasn't going to be in the tower. I think that's less likely now of a chance, seeing how this has kind of gone. But I did for a while, for a stretch here, think that, like, she didn't, the twist was going to be that she wasn't actually physically there. But I think I'm willing to retract that moments before we see. Beyond it, a spiral staircase extends high into the sky. Every time I've climbed these stairs, it's always been a solemn affair. And now is no different. I've succeeded, though. I've got them all here, ready to set her free before she's supposed to die. I've changed the past. Giselle? Can you hear me, Giselle? I made it in time. Now Morgana doesn't have to die tomorrow. I did it. Giselle? With me. Come on. Do you guys hear talking behind the door? Is there someone else in there with her? There couldn't be. It's only Morgana. Stay with me, please. Come on, you can't give up now. Oh, be quiet. As if you have any idea what I'm going through. Of course I do. I'm... Oh, what is this? What is happening? No. Standing before the door at the top of the stairs, a chill runs down my spine. Before I have time to consider what might have caused it, my body moves on its own. I shove my way past the other men and push open the door. What? Ah! Oh, she doesn't look great. I know I'll come up with something pleasant to take your mind off things. I'll come up with a story. A story? How about this? A dove flies in through the window up above, a piece of parchment tied to its leg. It's a letter from the prince of a neighboring land.
You read it, and then you write a response. I don't respond. After exchanging letters back and forth for some time, the prince comes to find you. I'm not going to fall for your stupid fantasies. Holding on to something, even a fantasy, is better than believing in nothing at all. I don't want you to give up hope. Baseless hope only breeds despair. Not that you would know that. Besides, if anyone's going to come for me, I don't want it to be a prince. There's only one person I want to see. We're all stunned to silence at the scene unfolding beyond the door. Morgana is having a conversation with herself. This does answer the question of who the white-haired girl is and where she came from. But I can't. This is just... No one should have to go through this. Her mind has split into two. Oh, Morgana, it looks like you have visitors. They're here to take my blood. Or they've got no use for me anymore. And are here to kill me. Oh, don't be so negative. Look, there's someone new. Kill me. Just set me free already. Morgana, you know what my wish is? Kill me and curse. Put a curse on them. Come on, Morgana, look up at them. Your letters, they made it. I never wrote any letters. He's got long white hair as white as snow, and eyes like rubies. He's beautiful like an angel descended from heaven. An angel. Morgana? I've come for you, Morgana. Come to set you free. Would you please undo her shackles, Jacopo? As you say.
Well.
Morgana? Angel? Can you hear me, Morgana? At long last, I have the chance to hold you while you're still alive. I'm here to get you out of this tower. You have nothing to worry about anymore. You can go outside again, see the sun. You can go back to your old life. Angel? Morgana. Angel? No one's going to hurt you anymore, Morgana. And the three of them by the door, none of them had any malice for you. Angel? You're free. You can go free again. Angel? You can have a normal life. No one is going to take any more of your blood. Angel? Please, Morgana. Please stay with me. Don't you want to leave this place? I'm going to set you free. I'll take you back to your cottage by the lake. I'll get you medicine. I'll help you with anything you need. If you want to go somewhere far away, I'll take you there. I'm begging you. I've waited so long for this moment. Morgana? I've been waiting so long for God to send an angel. Are you an angel? Are you an angel sent to deliver me from this place? Please deliver me unto my father's presence. I can't go back out there. I can't live in the mortal realm any longer. I don't want to. There's only one place I wish to go. O holy servant of the Lord. You are an angel, aren't you? Morgana, please deliver me from this place.
Is she gonna die right here? If she dies right here in his hands, like I was so close. I was so close to predicting what it actually is that like we're not really gonna be able to change like her ultimate fate. Is what I had always felt. Like it wasn't going to be like we'd be able to like it was too late.
Yes, that's right. I am. For now, yes, I will be. I'm the Archangel Michael, sent to deliver your soul unto God the Father.
At least a little bit interesting that he's constantly had to tell people that he's not like an angel and that he's just like a regular person, and then he finally meets Morgana and she's like, "Are you an angel?" And he's like, "I guess I'll be an angel here for this situation, sure. Yeah, totally, I'm an angel."
Your angel. I've descended from heaven above. That's wonderful. Morgana, is he proud of me? Your father, the Lord Almighty, is exceedingly proud of the great work you have done in his name. Thank you. It means so much to me to hear that. I couldn't be happier to be able to return with you to see him. Morgana? Morgana! Morgana!
No. Her body goes limp in my arms as the last of her life slips away. Fuck. I mean, I wish I was wrong, but I wish I wasn't right, like, guessing that. But, I mean, it just made more sense that she wasn't going to ultimately be able to be, like, saved like that, you know? There should have been more than enough time to spare, but still I failed to save her life. At the very least, I hope I was able to provide her some comfort in her final moments. I'm allowed to think that, aren't I? We were too late. But why? Wasn't she not supposed to die until... That's what you said, isn't it? That was how it was supposed to happen, right? So how come we still didn't make it? Why didn't you do anything? Why did you just let her wither away like this? Oh, now we get to get pissed at them again? Why? Answer me! I have no answer for you. I had no idea she had deteriorated so badly. We should take her outside. Then you can atone for your sins. But first, we need to take her body somewhere clean. Death does not mean you are free of pain. We need to ensure her soul can depart in peace. You won't see me objecting. You need to say now what you were going to say to her. You must let her know the truth. She's dead. What good will it do to reveal my feelings now? Are you really that dense? Of course it will do good. Her physical body may be dead, but her soul is still here, watching everything, listening to every word you say. I don't believe in souls. Well, I'm begging you to change your mind. Let Morgana hear what you have to say. Don't let her soul seethe in hatred. Please, I'm begging you. Okay, Morgana, I'm not the Lord you knew. The man who put you through that hell. I killed him. I'm the man who freed you from his grasp. I'm the man who spent the next 3 years with you. We were poor, and food was scarce, let alone good food. But those were happy times. Just about every day, I'd come to rub ointment on your face. I'd tell you to look at me, and you'd reluctantly turn my way. I used to think a lot about the face you'd make when you finally gave in. And then there was Maria. I can only imagine how obnoxious you thought the two of us were when we were in the same room together. You sitting off alone while me and Maria go at it, not making a peep. Me always trying to sneak glances at you. There's so much I never managed to tell you, and I hate myself for being too weak to put any of it into words. I could apologize, but I doubt you'd forgive me. And I don't want you to either. I just want you to know that this isn't how I wanted things to turn out. What I wanted more than anything was to show you the world. But instead, all I managed to show you was the inside of a cold, dark tower. Not the beautiful, unimaginably wide world outside these walls, but a tiny, filthy corner of it. I did this to you. I took everything from you, when I should have given you everything. However much you hate me, I deserve every last bit of it and more. I was ready to pay with my life, if that's what you wanted. I was ready to do absolutely anything. This wasn't how I wanted things to turn out. I waited too long to bring myself to take action. Morgana, the man there, he told me you said the 3 years you were with me and Maria were the brightest days of your life. Well, they were for me too. I loved you. That's everything. Did any of what he just said make it through to you, Morgana? I pray with all my heart that him opening up will have even the tiniest effect on how you feel. Morgana, I always wanted to apologize for everything I did to hurt you. I feel terrible about it, I really do. And yeah, I know that's not enough to make up for what I've done. So I want to make amends, whatever it takes.
If you want me to give you my life now, I will. Or if you want me to spend the rest of my days paying for my sins, I can do that too. I'm an irredeemable monster and a killer. I take pleasure in hurting people. You are right to be afraid of me. I'm genuinely sorry for what I did to you, though. I never wanted to see you dead. Sorry. I can't come up with anything better to say. Let's bring her outside. Would you carry her body, please? You should be the one to carry her. You're far better suited to the job. My right arm is in no condition to be picking anything up. Do you not remember my arm is shot, my finger's broken. I'm dying. I'm fading into the shadow realm. The voice Giselle in my head is gone. So yeah, my right arm is in no condition to be picking anything up. I'll help you lift her then. You said it was my words she needed to hear most, but ultimately, it was you who saved her. And me, who made that necessary. She wanted to be delivered to God by the hands of an angel, so the angel here should carry her. I can't. It wouldn't be right. Please, would you do it for her? Very well.
I think I'm gonna call it there for reading. Because... Actually, let's make it outside. Let's make it outside real quick. I assume we can just make it... I mean, I assume the scene's gonna change quickly here. Jacopo puts the necklace around Morgana's neck, then lifts her dead body off the ground and places her in my arms. He opens the door, heading the four-man procession out of the tower as he had in. Yeah, I read that right. I walk at the back of the line. Each step they take down the spiral staircase is slow and ponderous, as if weighted down by the knowledge of their sins. But they must make their way to the place they will make their atonement. I wasn't able to prevent Morgana's death, but I was able to uncover the truth. I accomplished something. The sum of everything I did these 3 days should be enough to change her heart, and change the course of their next lives. They should be able to avoid the tragedies I witnessed through each of their doors. When we step through this door and people see Morgana's body, we'll be made to pay for our sins. Ultimately, I'm the one responsible, so the two of you are welcome to stay behind. I'm coming with you. A girl died because of the things I did. Can't just pretend it didn't have anything to do with me. No, I don't want to. I never had any intention of fleeing. You may have been the one running the operation, but I did just as many terrible things as you. Well then. Say, Mikhail? Yes? I figure this is probably my last chance to say it. So, thank you for convincing me to hand over my key. For giving me the courage to open my eyes. You always had the courage within you, Mel. You simply needed a little help finding it. It wasn't my strength that allowed you to take action, but your own. Huh. You sure know how to make someone feel better about themselves. I'd like to be a little stronger next time around, if there really is a next life. I'd like to be strong enough to face whatever comes my way, to not run away or try to ignore it. I have no doubt you will be. The trials you're made to face are great, and very few of them of your own making. Yours is a tragedy of circumstance, of feelings kept secret and good intentions gone wrong. If you can face the problem when it arises rather than look away, I'm certain you can find your way to a better future. You mean in my next life? I do. I'll trust you know what you're talking about then, and burn your advice into my soul. Don't look away. Please do. I'm glad to have met you. If there is a next life, I'd like it if we could be friends. Just so you know, you'll never convince me to go on walks around a lake or take naps out in the sun. Well, that makes you sound like a very gloomy, unpleasant person to be around. Just joking. Thank you. You're welcome. You know, you kept telling me you weren't an angel, but you actually are, aren't you? I promise you, I'm a regular man.
You told Morgana you were an angel. Angels and demons don't get along very well, so I'd rather not run into you in my next life. I appreciate what you did here, though. I'll do my best to be more human next time. Please do. If I repeat to myself what you told me, that what I need most is restraint as I make my departure from this world, then maybe I won't forget it, even if I do lose my memories. Burn it into my soul. I rather like that. I think I'll follow the boy's lead there. That would be best. And I'll be praying that, even if you aren't capable of love, you'll be able to live a peaceful life with a good woman who loves you. That you'll be able to make her happy by doing so. I still think she'd be better off never knowing me. Whether you want her to or not, she's almost certainly going to meet you and fall in love with you. You know, now that I think about it, she's not as normal as I first thought. She's a peculiar woman. I can't say I disagree. Well, guess this is goodbye then. That it is. I know everyone else is doing it, but I've got nothing to say to you.
Oh, pleasant.
I didn't expect you would. Huh. Though I suppose I do have something I'd like to say to you. And what might that be? Be more open with yourself. If you had only put your feelings into words, things would have turned out differently. In both this life and your next. Coming from you, a man who looks even more closed off than me, that rubs me very much the wrong way. Do I really look that closed off? In more ways than one, yeah? That part of me is deeply ingrained. You telling me to open up won't magically disentangle my personality and make it be. I don't think you're as twisted as you believe you are. I'll consider it if this next life nonsense you're selling is true. Please do. Lord have mercy, one hell of a man certainly busts his way into my life. Last thing I expected was for an outsider to be the one to get us to open that door. Impressive work for one man. It was not only my doing. I had help from a number of people. And it was you, Giselle, who did the most in getting me here. I'm not as big a man as the three of you make me out to be. Before this, I'd lost so much. I felt utterly powerless. I was on the verge of abandoning all hope. But having the opportunity to meet all of you, to spend time with you and the people around you, did a great deal to revitalize my spirit, despite the atrocities involved. So I thank you. I pray your next lives may turn out better. Suppose we should get going then. Off to pay for our crimes. To relieve her soul, some of its pain. And I suppose, to make sure their next lives go a little better. Let's.
Okay, we'll call it there then. So I am like so under the impression that we're gonna finish this game next week. Whether that be, oh wow, we actually have to go to the second page. Look at that. Whether that be Tuesday, Friday, or if we don't finish Tuesday and Friday, I'm envisioning doing like a Sunday next weekend, like finale stream if it takes it. Like if we have to go like hours into Sunday, because like I said, I was led to believe that I had several hours left as of a little while ago is what I was led to believe. So I think if we don't finish Tuesday, then we'll finish Friday. And if we don't finish Friday next week, then like release Valve Sunday, we'll start early if we must on Sunday, but we'll just read and finish the story. Now, that also, I mean, it's been there in the menu. There are extracurricular short stories or extra story stuff that I will say I do have intentions of reading, but we probably won't get to that until I'm back from home from like my trip for like a week and a half or so. So that'll be like end of this month. But at the very least, I want to finish like the main story over the next like 8 days. Or I should say over the next 3 streams if it takes that of Fata Morgana. So we'll do normal Tuesday, we'll do normal Friday, If we don't finish then, Sunday will be the release valve. We're sitting our ass down and finishing the story. But I have hopes to believe that I think we'll either finish Tuesday or Friday. If we finish Friday, that's a nice start to the weekend, I would think. I mean, we have the releasing of Morgana. We have to figure out what the hell has happened to Giselle. The spirit of Giselle. Did what we do actually accomplish and save everyone's cursed next lives? How is that going to show itself? How is it going to resolve? How is it going to look? There's so many questions I still feel. If we are very close to the end, like, I'm very curious how it, like, what's going to happen? I mean, the main question to me, again, as I professed over the last few streams, I'm very much more interested and invested in the Mikkel/Giselle of it all. Like I said, at the end, towards certain points last stream, Giselle was certainly knew something and was hiding some kind of information. She was withholding something. Something was going on, seemingly. Whether that she was just feeling bad or knew something wasn't going to change, or maybe she knew her future was not going to happen. I don't know. Are we going to truly get the very sad ending where no one is happy at the end of this game? I can't wait to see. Oh, I cannot wait to see. Oh, man. So we'll stream this next time Tuesday night. Normal Fata Morgana Tuesday next week.